Clobberin' time!
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Roger. Ready to move out.
Welcome, my good friends, to Clobbering Times Saturday Night Star Trek. We indeed. Great to see you, my good friends. I'll never get tired of that ever. I love it. And speaking of we, it's always saying we when we have the most wonderful, beautiful, amazing first officer in all of the fleet, and that is R.M. Briggs, the Commander R.M. Briggs. Hey there. Thank you for being here with me. You're the best, and I'm glad you're here. Say hello to our wonderful audience.
Well, it's an honor to be here. You're one of my best friends in the whole world. I adore you. You mean the world to me. Our whole crew is here. I know that they are bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and they're ready to talk turkey. They're ready to talk about these episodes. Tonight is going to be so much fun. Let's get it on.
Yes, indeed. And what a crew we've got already. I'm getting everybody's names ready for our big shout outs and stuff. Let's see here. What will be I'm sorry everybody by the way for starting for the late start. I apologize for that. That's on me. I was just got so much going on. I was distracted by a game that was going on. I admit it. I was late because I was just distracted. Hang on. And I just got messaged. The engineer. The great chief engineer, Mark D with a C, shout out to, says that the great Eric K has gifted 5 more memberships.
Oh my gosh,
thank you so much.
So generous.
And thank you, Mark, for letting me know, brother. Hope you're feeling better, buddy, and hope to see you later.
Yeah, I hope you're feeling better.
Yeah, I was I don't know. Hope I can't I don't know what's going on in that now, but Keely Chow might be defeating me at the moment. I don't know. We're gonna see. I don't want this is the one night I can't wish him the roll tide if we see him later, our good buddy Keely. But welcome everyone. It's good to see you here tonight. We have, of course, as usual, a big Saturday night Star Trek for you planned.
Yeah.
Okay, what we'll do really quickly is we'll burn through the show notes and the shout outs, and then we'll get going. Because you have something for us, number one, something special for us to
I do.
So simply we'll do this, of course. Tomorrow night, as always, on the Great Mark D with the C's show on his channel, the Sunday Night Geekery. Please, if you're up late on a Sunday night and nothing to do, just want to hear some geeks geeking about geekness. 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when we all hang out there. I'm always hanging out with over there, and it's always a fun time. Just sitting back, relaxing, nothing serious, just having a little fun with amongst geeks. And again, that's
Great
10
conversation with
Absolutely.
the greatest chief engineer in all of Starfleet.
He is indeed. And that's always a lot of fun. And then Monday night, on Monday night, Mark C. Comics Talk, I will have another DC Animation review team up with my great friend, the extraordinary Stone Loki. Will be joining me, our good buddy Loki, to review the DC animated feature film All-Star Superman. That is Monday night on Monday night.
Riot.
Yes, it'll be a lot of fun. Well, it's all about the comics over there, and an animated movie is comics, and we're big Superman fans. This is a good one, and it's a gooder. So please join us for that. And we'd like to shout out all of our friends there. For those of you who may be new, we'd like to get everyone shouted out. Let's see here. Sorry,
Nothing to
didn't miss
apologize for,
anybody.
boss.
Anyway, we'd like to get everyone shouted out. For those who don't know, if you're new here, and then then we'll go on to our reviews. But it's very important to us to let everyone know that we really appreciate everybody hanging out with us. We have such a great, lively chat every Saturday night, talking Star Trek, and it's important to us. So I always like to. That's why we do it. That's why we spend a lot of time on saying our hellos, because you're our friends. You're our friends, and you're our crew. And we really just appreciate you so much. First, of course, and I forget to do this a lot. I'm trying to make it a habit, but I'm old and senile, so I forget sometimes. But a big shout out, as always, to the great lurkers out there, our good friends who lurk. Who not everyone has a chance to you join in the chat. Some people just aren't the chatting type. Some people are riding around listening in cars or what have you. And we always appreciate those lurkers. I forget to say it sometimes, and I apologize. So we appreciate you. And then those who are listening later on a download or on a repeat view, or however you want to call it, on a rewatch. Like our wonderful friend Wendy, in fact, the other day sent a really nice message about last week's show that was just amazing, and we really appreciate you. Wendy, if you and yours are out there. And we have a couple. We have Windology, of course, and we have another one. Our other friend Wendy, the Trauma Warrior, she shows up sometimes as well. So there are two Wendys out there. Either one of you, just accept our appreciation for all you do and those nice words that you say. If you're out there listening to this much later, big love to you and yours, and thank you so much.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. We love your conversations, and whenever you have a chance to pop into the chat and leave your thoughts and your comments, wow, the crew makes this show, because just the conversations become so wonderful. So yeah, huge shout out there. And I would be remiss if I did not remind you to also then say, please, if you are listening to this on a download, don't forget to hit the like button. Please go ahead and hit that thumbs up. And if you can, would you please share this channel and this show on your socials? We would really, really appreciate it.
Yes. Let's see. John Riddell says Wendy Webb is at the World Series.
Wendy.
Well, Wendy Webb out there. Hope. I don't know which team she is. She an Astros fan or a Phillies fan? I
don't know. I bet you Jimmy's there too. Have fun.
Oh well, I guess I wish your team wins, even if it's they win against a team that some other friend of mine is for. So either way, I hope you have a great time. I have to wish both though. And let's see. Yeah, before we get to our shout outs, let's say thanks to Michael Carney Hello there, Michael Carney. Shout out to you. Thank you for being here, and thank you for the $5 super chat. He says, Mike, Raquel, and Mark's lots of love from Liverpool. Hail the mods and hail to the beautiful chat.
Yes.
Michael Carney, thank you so much. That is much appreciated.
We had a blast with him on the Clubhouse. He was great on the Clubhouse the other night, too. Yeah. Nice to see you, Michael.
And we appreciate you, Michael, so much for being here. Thank you so much. And Matt G.
Matt G.
Is that a super sticker? Because I can't really see it from this side.
I don't know. Somebody tell us what that is. We don't get to see it. We don't get to see it on our side of StreamYard, and it's very frustrating for us.
But thank you, Matt G, for the $1 super sticker.
Super sticker.
Oh, it must be a. But anyway, either way, thank you so much, Matt G. And it's always great to have you here, my friend. And a big shout out to out there, whoever. Our good buddy and Eric O'Sullivan. He might be lurking out the, on a rewatch later if he is.
Fine Irishman.
Indeedishness. So, yes. Thank you so much. And now for our shout outs to our good friends in the chat. Then we'll get to our reviews. No hurry.
Let's do it.
Of course, the great Mark D, the aforementioned great Mark D with the CR chief engineer, is here with us tonight.
Thanks for the shout out on my Catwoman saying what you put in the chat. That was really sweet of you, Mark. You're such a good friend. Thank you so much. You're the best.
Indeed. Oh, our wonderful, I was about to shout out our wonderful communications officer at Anti-Derivative. Jill says, Matt G sent a super chat without a message. Oh, I got you. Ooh. It's not a sticker. Doomcock likes to say it is written in invisible ink or Elvish. Shout out as always. Yeah, well, he is, of course, a clever ruler of the earth. And a big shout out as always to our great friend Doomcock out there. So thank you so much. DC indeed. Thank you so much, Jill. Appreciate that very much. All right, let's see here. So now let's get to our shout outs. Thank you, Chris Persia, by the way, for that as well.
Chris.
Yes, indeed. So also, again, Jill, like I said, our wonderful Jill is here. And
hello, gorgeous.
Chief of Security is here, the great Lord Thoth. Hello to you, Lord Thoth and
Lady Thoth.
Lady Thoth. Absolutely. And it is just all, Avon lives and long live the Legion, my brother.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we'll start out now. Of course, everyone, we always shout out to our fantastic wrenches. We just have such great ones here. The great Vindicator wrench of the North, Chris Persia. Thanks for all you do, my friend. You the man. Appreciate you, buddy. The Bronze Wrencher. Eric K. Yo, brother.
He was sending me food porn today. He's so terrible. He made a frittata today and sent me a picture of it. I was like, buddy, you're killing me.
Oh,
it had so much cheese on it.
Damn it, Eric. Damn it. Well done. I don't know if he's actually here tonight because I didn't see him, but he might be. But we shout him out anyway because he's a great wrench, a great friend. Is the Wrench of Iron, D. Bud Martin, my brother.
We love you.
All righty. And let's see whom else bees with us right now. And if anyone else pops in, I try to get them all. Try to get everybody. I watch the chat and write it down. I don't write it down on the other nights. I just fly by the seat of my pants. But on the Saturday night, it's the biggie. So
didn't our kids used to say "Gotta catch 'em all" for that Pokemon thing or whatever?
They did.
Whenever you say that, I always think of the when the kids were little, and they would say "Gotta catch 'em all."
Well, there you go. I think I have. So let's get these shouted out. J-Man Buddy. What's up? The great J-Man, folks. Our fantastic friend. We love J-Man and has a great channel. Dude, we have to talk soon. Are we going to get together and review something that I don't want to have to go watch next week? I'm going to do it anyway. We don't have to. I'm just I know he's doing it, and I know I'm going anyway. So anyway. All right, I'll get with it. I'll bug him about that later.
Follow J-Man, please, on Twitter and on YouTube. He's also an author, and so is his wife. His wife is an award-winning Canadian poet. So please follow those breadcrumbs to J-Man's channel and to his Twitter. You won't be sorry.
Indeedishness, everyone. Shooter is here.
Pew, 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 pew.
What is up, Shooter? My friend. I hope you're doing well. Always good to see you. Let's see. Sorry. Pleasant Valley Pickers, Pleasant Valley. I hope you're doing okay.
Good evening,
Good
sir.
to see you. Good evening. Fabio 100, welcome.
Hello.
Look who's here. The chef was here, Mr. Angel.
Yeah.
Mr. Angel.
He's not feeling well, and he needs your love, your prayers, your warm thoughts, anything, just all those warm fuzzies. Please send them Mr. Angel's way. Our chef, the ship's chef, sure could use it.
Yes, chef. Look, buddy, we love you, man. We miss you, and we understand you're not going through best of times right now, but you are always a staple of the show. We just you're always in our thoughts, and we hope you get better and hope you feel better. And good luck, man. And a big clobbering times. Everyone, give put a big A in the chat for Mr. Angel, everybody, because a valued friend. So, or MA is good too. Either way you want to do it. Thank you so much. We have a super chat from a super chat from a super chap. Let's see here. Where'd I put it? Oh, I stored it. I'm an idiot. Here we go.
Look at that.
You
know who that
Scuba
is?
Pete.
That is Scuba Pete and Leslie.
Scuba. Yes, and Leslie. That rascal, Scuba Pete, for $4.99 says, much love, Clobby and Raquel. Love back at you, brother.
We love you.
Well,
you
man.
are the professor of pun. You are a prolific punster. We adore you. And speaking of people who you should follow, if you love merch, if you're a super geek and you like all those beautiful ancient toys and all those collectibles, you gotta go find Scuba Pete's channel. He's so knowledgeable, so kind, and so funny. You'll laugh until your belly hurts.
Please, someone put Scuba. Put the channel up there, brother. I don't know if let me
Oh, Leslie's here too. Hi, Leslie.
All right. If I could find him, I would knight him, as in mod him, but I can't find him. So if anybody I don't have a way to do it right now because my chat on the other side's being slow ass, so I can't see him. But someone, if anyone could get Scuba Pete's channel, if someone knows what it is.
There it is. Mark D with a C. I love you, Mark D with a C.
Mark D with a C. I know it. Thank Chasing 80s Toys. Please, everyone, please subscribe.
And Eric's there and Chris is there. They all came up at the same time. You guys are the best.
Thanks, guys. I was drawing a blank like a jagoff. But anyway, thank you so much, everybody. All right, everyone. Let's see who else we got. We got let's see here. Classic Comics. What's up, Miladio? Hey. Good to see you, buddy. Michael Carney, again, thank you for what you did earlier. Appreciate that. It's great to see you. We have a Polymese minion. And you know what that means?
The pepperoni.
I'm sorry. That was bad drumming there.
Kisses for Sumi's whole beautiful, sweet face.
Yes, truck dog approved, folks.
Be careful out on those roads, a Polymese minion.
Yes, be careful out on the road, my dear. We love a Polymese. We love the pupper. We love that little pupper so much there. So here we go. Anyway, Fab's about cider, buddy. What's up, Fanty? Indeed. Sandra Feliciano and Raymond Feliciano, King Dolphin TV.
King Dolphin TV.
In color. Our good friends, the Felicianos here. Please go subscribe to King Dolphin TV and check out Raymond's books. It's always good to see you guys. Enigmatic Drop Bear.
The erudite bear. He is going to be dropping some major reviews tonight that are going to spark some brilliant conversations. Stay tuned.
Indeed. Yes, indeed. Good to see you, ED. JD Kirk, buddy. All right. What's up, man?
Kirk.
That's it. Kirk. I am Kirk. Brian Hepburn.
I said JD instead of JT. What's wrong with
JT.
me?
I don't know. You did fine.
It should be JT Kirk.
Indeedishness. Brian Hepburn, good to see you. John Rendell, hello there, my friend.
Hello.
Linrod, hey. Good to see you, Linrod. Cal-El, Stephen M. Buddy, what's up, bro?
Nice to see you, sir.
Good
Real
to see
soup.
you, man. The real soup. Michelle O'Rourke Johansson, hello, my love. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're feeling well tonight, and thank you for being here.
Hello.
Hungry boy. What's his name tonight? I got to find his name. I don't see it. Let me Does it? Because where is he? Where is that rascal? I can't find his name. Well, it'll pop up again.
Where's that rascal?
Never when I need it.
I'll find him. I'll find him. It's hungry for Win Adami to muzzle it.
Okay, fair enough. I couldn't see it. I didn't have it for him. There we go. Okay, there we go. Gotcha. Man, what a great crowd we have tonight. It's amazing. I can't keep up with it. But we're getting there, folks. And we're gonna get started in a minute. Matt G, hey. Yee. The great Michael Beacom, and shout out to the better half, Cassandra.
And please watch the Beacom's comments this evening, because the vetted text that is the official text of this iteration of Star Trek of DS9, I don't personally have it on me right now. So guess who's been providing that in-text citation? Those facts, absolute facts, not just internet fan lore. It's the Beacons. They put up that in-text citation. So please watch the Beacons handles for all the juicy info that you know will be true.
The Radanax Amanda Bear, my friend. Woo. Hey. All right, Captain Infinity and beyond. Yes, indeed. What a great crowd we got. We're almost there, folks. We're about to get started, but this is very important to us to shout everybody out. So we're still doing that while there's enough people where it's feasible. If there were like 1,000 people here, we couldn't do it. But we have a great intimate crowd, a great crew. So the Catman, a.k.a. Dee Myers. Hello there, my friend. I hope you and your wife are doing well.
My love to you both.
Good to see you. Bush McFadden. What's up, Bush?
Bush!
Hello. Makini Draws. Oh, my goodness.
Makini's here?
Yeah, Makini Draws, a great artist who has a great channel. Please, if anyone knows how to put his channel up in there, I would appreciate that so people can go follow him. I've been over there with him before. An excellent artist. Drawing streams are so much fun to watch when you've got a really great artist.
He draws live.
It's great to watch. Makini, thank you for popping in, my friend. I hope you're still
nice to see you, sweetheart.
So please go check his channel out if you would. Rob Altus, what is up, buddy?
Rob,
a superhero to me. Those prisoner toys, man. I can't wait. Wolfie. What's up, Wolfie? Hey, man. Good to see you, man. Crimson Ghost. Hey there.
Ooh.
Welcome. Good to see you there. Our old buddy Snail Messiah's here.
Snail Messiah.
Hey, Snail. Tyrell 72. What is up, my friend?
So Tyrell's at work, so I'm going to give him my regular greeting. Tyrell, we love you very much. The whole chat says hello. The captain says hello. Please don't work too hard. Work safe, and we will see you at the end of the show. Have a wonderful day at work, honey.
Indeed. Claude Salling, hey there.
Claude.
And Mr. Grant Gregory, what is up, sir?
Gregory,
another
hello.
Down Under. Good to see you, old buddy, and I'm glad to have you here. And that's everyone so far right now, folks. We will acknowledge anyone who shows up in due course if they do. So here's basically what we do here on Saturday Night Star Trek. And in addition, just to hang out and saying hello to everyone and getting everyone ready, we review all of real Star Trek. To us, and this is just, it's our opinion and we hold to it. Star Trek exists from 1966 to 2005. The real deal Trek. The 735 Club, as my first officer calls it, because there are 735 installments. Nothing after 2005 is legitimate Trek, and we don't treat it as such. In January of 2021, we embarked upon this ongoing mission to review all of real Star Trek. We started with the original series, went into the animated series, the original crew films, then TNG, and now we are currently in smack dab in the middle of Deep Space Nine, Season 3.
Mm-hmm.
4 episodes a night is the way we like to do it, and we have 4 episodes for you this evening. Basically, number 1 reads a synopsis of it. We talk about it a little bit, and you just give our general feelings on the episode. We don't break down every single. We don't EFAP it.
No, we don't do that.
But and by the way, you could do that. It would just take you a while. So we just give our basic overview of an episode, and then we get our fantastic chat. And then we rate it. Of course, we give a rating for A to our scale, and then we get our fantastic chat to give their ratings and any views they may have, reviews they may have, and a couple of hopefully in 5 chats or less. We're trying to get that down a little bit because we got so many people who write. It's trying to make it manageable for time, And we spent a little bit of time on each episode breaking it down a bit. So now I will turn it over to my wonderful first officer, and she will get us started on the first episode of the evening.
Well, before we do that, I need to
Oh, we
let
have a
everyone
special.
know.
That's right.
Yeah, but don't worry about it. It's okay. We got lots to do. So I'm sure a lot of you 735ers know it is Armin Shimmerman's birthday. He was born on November 5th, 1949. And today he is of the very young age of 73. And I'm just going to read just his early life from Wikipedia. I like to, whenever a Star Trek alum has a birthday or does something special, I like to just remember them. Give a little bit of time to the chat to reflect on that person's life. And so tonight, I think Armin Shimmerman's early life will be interesting to everyone. Armin Shimmerman was born into a Jewish family in Lakewood, New Jersey on November 5th, 1949. The son of an accountant, Susan, and house painter Herbert Shimmerman. When he was 15, he moved with his family to Los Angeles, where his mother enrolled him in a drama group in an effort to expand his social circle. He attended Santa Monica High School and was active in drama. As a senior, he played leading roles in the school's productions of Hamlet, The Crucible, and The Skin of Our Teeth before graduating in 1967. After graduating from UCLA, he was selected to apprentice at the Old Globe Theater in San Diego. He began pursuing a career in theater and eventually moved to New York City, where he was a member of the Impossible Ragtime Theater. Returning to Los Angeles, he took roles in 2 CBS series to launch his television acting career. And so there's just a little taster of Armin Shimmerman. And if you love Armin Shimmerman, you love Quark. Armin Shimmerman is also he's done a lot of voice work. He's done a lot of writing. It's my understanding that he's also done some teaching. So if you love Armin and you want to connect with him and wish him a happy birthday, I'm sure he would very much appreciate that. He's out on the socials. He is a prolific Twitterette.
Brilliant actor who's also Principal Skinner on Buffy the Vampire Slayer for the first 3 seasons. And at the same time, he was doing Quark, I think, actually. Great. He was, and his what couldn't be. Those are some very different characters because he wasn't wearing the makeup then. It was just like
Hojo.
Hojo. I don't think I've met Hojo before. Welcome, Hojo, to Saturday Night.
It's nice to meet you, Hojo.
Yes, absolutely. Always great to meet new people. We appreciate you. So, are we ready for our first episode of the evening?
We sure are.
Okay.
But if you're listening to this as an old-time radio hour and you don't participate in the visuals and you're not participating in the chat, I would just like to say that our wonderful crew, our wonderful 735 Club, they are sending out some really wonderful emojis and best wishes to Armin Shimmerman for his birthday. So,
birthday.
Hail to the chat.
To Armin. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, let's do it.
All right. Episode 1 of the evening. Our first episode of the evening is Life Support.
It is, and Life Support is Season 3, Episode 13. And if you're scratching your head saying, what? It's not 13 where I live. Well, it's because there are all different sorts of streaming services and there are multi-parters involved in DS9. And sometimes they're chopped up differently. But if you're a little bit confused, just remember that it's prod code 459, and that's also how you'll recognize it in the official text for this show. This first aired on January 30th, 1995. Now, I'm going to be reading the plot as constructed by random people on the internet on Wikipedia. I will be reading extemporaneously because I like to keep this show organic. And that means I've never read this before. So hopefully I'll do a good job and then we'll talk about it. A ship carrying Vedic Bareil and the Bajoran spiritual leader Kai Wynn to Deep Space Nine for peace negotiations with the Cardassians suffers a mishap, and Bareil is gravely injured. Dr. Bashir finds that Bareil is brain dead and tries to console Kira. In an autopsy, Bashir discovers that Bareil's nervous system still shows signs of activity. He manages to revive Bareil by regenerating his brain. Kai Wynn is pleased and wants Baral to continue managing the negotiations, given his greater experience and diplomatic skill. Bashir soon discovers that the revival is damaging Baral's internal organs. He advises Baral to go into stasis so that Bashir can find a solution, but Baral refuses. He insists that he must finish the negotiations and create peace for his people. Bashir considers giving Baral the experimental drug Vasokin, which would increase the blood flow to his organs and allow him to resume negotiations, but would ultimately damage his internal organs further. The talks resume, but Baral's condition continues to deteriorate, especially with Kai Wynn continuing to probe him for advice when he should be recovering. Eventually, the Vasokin treatments begin to inflict brain damage, and Baral falls unconscious again. Wynn insists on keeping Baral alive at all costs. Bashir accuses her of only wanting him alive so he can be a scapegoat in case the negotiations fail. Bashir replaces the damaged part of Baral's brain with a positronic matrix. Thanks, Isaac Asimov. With a positronic matrix. The surgery is a success, but Baral is still severely brain damaged with a life expectancy of only a few months. Just enough time to possibly conclude his negotiations with the Cardassians. Kira speaks with him, but he barely recognizes her and is no longer the man she fell in love with. Baral is kept alive long enough to aid in completing the negotiations, and the treaty is signed between Bajor and Cardassia. As Baral's condition worsens, Kira asks Bashir to replace the remainder of his damaged brain with positronic matrices, but Bashir refuses on grounds that it will remove any spark of life Baral has left. Wynn agrees that it is time to allow Baral to die. The episode closes with Kira at Baral's bedside, recounting for a slowly dying Baral how she first fell in love with him. In a side plot, Jake Sisko must confront his Ferengi friend Nog misogynist attitudes toward women and dating. So there are obviously some grammatical and typographical infelicities there that I just followed along with. But, that's what happens when you're dealing with user-generated info. And that's all Wikipedia and the fine folks of the internet have to say about life support. I'm going to throw it over to you, Captain. What did you think of this episode?
Well, it was pretty, as well as Thoth says. I saw him say in the chat, it's dark. It's sad. This is another example. We talk about this all the time on the show. This show is, very good with the. Oh, we'll just look. I've got a super chat there.
That's a Wolfie. Very generous gift for you from
Thank
Wolfie.
you so much for the $10 super chat, Wolfie. You're too kind, my buddy. He says, I thought it was worth noting that amongst last week's episodes, Voyager aired its pilot Caretaker. Oh, okay. At the same time, I got you. In canon, USS Voyager was lost just a bit earlier this season in Stardate 48307.5. Well, thank you. Thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Love it, always. Wolfie. Thank you,
Good
honey.
track lore there. Thank you, Wolfie. Appreciate it. And thank you so much for the very generous super chat, my friend. Yes, very dark, a very sad episode. The show, like I said, as we talk about every now and then, it is a science fiction show and its trappings, but sometimes it's not necessarily all that. I mean, there are definitely science fiction elements in this story, particularly, but a lot of it is drama. But we like these characters, so sometimes even the drama episodes can be good and effective. Baral has always been a likable character to me. I like the guy. I mean, it's tough to dislike him for me. So seeing something this brutal happen to his character, this show is brutal. And it's just like, man, I get it. He's not one of the main ones, and you got to have some loss in any kind of drama. That's fine. I get it. It's okay. Like I said, it's a very interesting episode. It was very just totally sad, but here's a problem I have kind of with the episode in of itself. These A and B, these schizophrenic stories, like they used to do on TNG, this A-B stuff, is never my preferred form of Star Trek episode, or really any kind of TV, to be perfectly honest with you. Doesn't mean the other part wasn't. There was some interest in it as well. It's just to me, I don't know. It's very schizophrenic kinds of writing when you have these the A-B stories, which again we all know that's common. So that's the first time this has happened. I don't really the stuff with Jake and Nog. I've been thinking about it a lot because you should think that Star Trek's supposed to make you think.
Yes.
Nog's misogynist. I mean, the way he treats the ladies at the table is horrible. But bigotry is taught, and this is kind of. At first, I was really mad at it because it's cringy. Like you want to punch Nog. I've never liked the character of Nog, by the way. I've hated him. I mean, up to this point, I've hated him, and I hate him in this episode too. But then I do realize you do have to step back a little bit and go. He is there to show you that this is someone from a culture that is taught this. And one of the interesting things about that now is if anyone from current day that talks about that lauds the horrible new things that are called Star Trek that are not would watch this episode, I think it would actually be a very teachable thing in the sense that Jake is an evolved being from a 24th century Roddenberry Federation. And as such, he acts the way, in my opinion, that I've always tried to act in my life. For example, a lot of people of today, as soon as someone expressed such ignorant and horrible things, that Nog, that's it. They wouldn't be friends with him. In fact, he never would have been friends with him to begin with these horrible things that Nog has been taught.
Well, in the filth, they probably would have put him up on a stretcher and
right.
used a wine cork to pull one of his eyes out.
Nog is a child. Right.
Well, that's the way the filth deals with it, right?
Right. But this is an intelligent way to deal with it. You put someone up there, you have them say, because they used to do that on television. They would put Archie Bunker up there and he would say these things and the show would be about, hey, he's wrong. But he was he was portrayed as an interesting character, even though that was a comedy now, but still, there was serious elements to it. He would say these ignorant things. And what did Jake do? Did he cancel him on Twitter?
No.
Did he stop being friends with him?
No.
And it was so embarrassing what he did. I would have wanted to punch him out. He stayed friends with him when today, the sense of, I could just see a modern day Dreckie say things like, well, preach to him and tell him he's a horrible piece of garbage and just run away and never talk to him again. Well, he doesn't. He sticks with him. And this is something I've done all my life. Look, everyone, I'm old. I grew up as a child in the deep South of the 60s and the 70s. Now, without going too far into it, I was not taught by a lot of people. I'm just telling you about certain types of prejudices and biases and bigotries that it's wrong. You're supposed to be sat down. Hello there, Katie Dax.
Katie!
Katie
Dax!
Adults are supposed to sit you down and tell you that these things are wrong. And that doesn't always happen. That's why you get people who are taught bigotry and things like this. Nog was taught this. His whole culture teaches it. And Jake could have easily just not been his friend anymore. I've never done that. When I learned a lot of these lessons on my own through various exposures to types of other philosophies from other points of view, outside of all the, I'm trying to put a speed on it. I promise I'm going to hurry up. I promise. But
you don't have to hurry. Everyone loves what you're saying. Stop it. You take your time.
Outside of all the influences that I had to, I had upon me as a kid, I had to learn from a lot of, going outside of my, out of my comfort zone to learn why bigotry, why any kinds of racism, sexism, homophobia, any of that stuff was wrong and bad, because it is. I had to learn that on my own, and without putting too fine a point on it. That's the same deal with Nog. Because of that, at a fairly young age, every time I would encounter such things, I pushed back and I argued with people. I didn't call them names. I didn't not speak to them. I didn't treat them like they were just a monster. I challenged these ideas because the only way to combat bad ideas is with good ideas and what's right. And Jake didn't throw Nog in the garbage. He stuck with him as a friend. And yes, that's horrible. The way Nog acted was despicable. And Jake knew it. And even early on in the show, even Cisco showed a bit of a kind of a bias, saying Ferengi are so different from us. You can't even be friends with a Ferengi because of look at how they treat women. And it's true. Look how they treat women. This show does an excellent job of taking these bigots and actually showing them as individuals who can grow, because we do know that from episodes later that Nog does grow. But you have to take these people, instead of just canceling them or throwing them on the trash heap of history, you have to at least try to make them see another way. And that's what Star Trek is all about. And that's not about preaching. It's not about even condemnation. It is about understanding and coexistence with other ideas, but it's also about combating bad ideas with good ideas. And this episode, it's good in the sense that it's very thought-provoking and dramatic. It's schizophrenic in its storytelling, but that point always pisses me off when I see the stuff that Nog does, and I just want to hate him. And then I realize to myself, no, that's not what you do. You do what Jake did. Mm-hmm. Jake stayed friends with him, and it's because it's easy to throw a friend in the garbage.
It's true. When
they piss you off and not try to help them. I believe, again, that's why I don't. The episode is not one of my favorite episodes or anything, but I love most about this episode is that it flat out shows a person acting like a complete and utter bigot, and it also shows us that bigotry is taught. This is a child who was taught this, and in a very Star Trek fashion, it showed, because Roddenberry used to do this in a very Star Trek fashion. He was treated not horribly. He was treated the way I think you have to treat these things, rather than saying you're a bigot, you're a monster, you're a bad person. You need to, I do believe, calmly combat bad ideas with good ideas and bad philosophies with good philosophies.
Yep.
And that's why I kind of, even though it's not a great or super entertaining episode, even though it's very, very it's heartbreaking to see what happens to Bareil at the end of this episode, because I kind of liked him. It's not. I think this episode comes away with its B plot being fairly more important than it seems because of that for me.
I think that it needed more, though, and
it needed more.
Yeah, because
I think
more
later. This is a soap opera.
I think that yes, we do get more later, but for me, first of all, I agree with everything you just said, but you and I, we've been watching Star Trek for over 40 years. And just like when I first happened upon the whole Jake and Nog thing, like I'm, was a grown woman and a mom in the 90s, in 1995. And I just looked at it and I think, why am I watching this? Because I always had a problem with the whole Jake and Nog thing. I thought, oh no, is this going to be a kid's show? So
right.
I don't.
No, you're right. But it is actually useful. It is teachable Star Trek that you have this being from this other culture that treats women horribly, treats women like absolute garbage.
True.
And remember, they were doing it, and they were touched on a little bit in the TNG when the Ferengi were not really characters. They were, let's face it, the Ferengi were ciphers for people of a certain political persuasion running Star Trek to trash capitalism, and that's all they were for. Later, Armin Shimmerman, like he erroneously says he was the first Ferengi. He wasn't, but he was the first one with actual characterization. Mm-hmm. He's really the first one that was fleshed out as an actual sentient being, because sometimes we get characters, just as all human beings aren't the same, we shouldn't write all Klingons the same or all Cardassians the same even, or Ferengi, same deal. Otherwise, it's crappy writing. So why would everyone from one planet be exactly the same? Sometimes science fiction tends to do that with certain characters, just so that these science fiction writers can complain about humans.
Mm-hmm.
And they get that word you like to use, didactic, about it sometimes. Well, you have to write the characters. You have to write these alien characters the way you write humans, all different and capable of redemption. So I believe this story, again, heartbreaking, the things that go on with Bareil. It's certainly not an uplifting, fun episode by any stretch, although it is interesting. The stuff with Jake made me think of Jake and Nog, and they're not Wesley level horrible. They were always annoying, but they're not Wesley, because at least they weren't saving the damn station, okay? They were just being sometimes you go, oh God, do I have to watch them? They get on my nerves.
You mean outperforming Data's calculations? You mean
Right.
that?
They don't do that crap with them, at least. You got to give them some credit there. They're kids. They do act like kids. So that's fair enough. Just like
Katie,
with Wesley.
I beg your pardon. Please excuse me for 1 second. I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but I just want to get to this very quickly so that it doesn't get forgotten. Katie, Eric K bought those memberships tonight. So you can thank Eric K. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead, boss.
I know I spent too much time on this one. I just wanted to think that Star Trek should make you think about things. And remember, as I said, everyone, I grew up in the 60s and the 70s in the Deep South, and I had to learn a lot of these things, not just from Star Trek, but from comics and a lot of other things. And it's something I think about. I think about prejudices and bigotries a lot because I think most people react to them in the wrong way and treat people who have them as not human beings when they are human beings with a problem. And I believe we have to face those problems by trying to change people rather than ostracize people. And because most people who do have certain bigotries they're not monsters, they're wrong. And I've seen many people redeem themselves from being wrong like that. And changing, you can change people and stuff like that. I believe it.
I think so,
I'm
too.
sorry, but I believe because I watched that episode and I hadn't seen it in a while, and I had the knee-jerk reaction when Nog did that. I'm like, oh my God, I hate this. He's so annoying. This is the most horrible thing he's ever done. If I'm Jake, I'm going to punch him. And then I think, but it's being Star Trek because it's throwing something out there in an intelligent way saying, look, this kid was taught this crap.
Yep. It's true.
And so anyway, I'm sorry I spent too much time on that.
You didn't. You're perfectly fine. Everybody's loving it.
I have notes.
I do have notes, and I don't think they're going to be received very well in the chat. And I hate to disappoint everyone, but I think Gene Roddenberry would have hated this episode.
Oh, he may well, yeah.
So we start with the teen dating, and that there's a little girl that was on a teen show. We're revisiting Jake's love life. It seems like every second episode where it's Jake's love life, whether it's a 26-year-old girl who's very voluptuous, and now it's a girl from a teen show on YTV.
Yes. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate that, by the way. Thank you. Go ahead.
Kira with the same haircut every boy under 5 years old had. Why did they cut her hair like this? She looks like she went to the little boy barber. Literally every boy I know under 5 has that haircut. It's
hey,
just
Brandon.
Hey, Brandon. Oh, hi, Brandon. I'm sorry. I do like the aspect of the medical sci-fi, and I think that that's great because it's like, oh, sci-fi. Oh my gosh, we're gonna do what science fiction's supposed to do, which is massage our anxieties about the future of medicine and the future of outer space and the future of everything, right? But they sort of poop the bed later on, and I'll get into that a little bit later in my notes. The Jake and Nog B plot is so annoying and weird. It's more than Ferengi cultural differences at this point. Ronald D. Moore has gone too far. Nog is actually delusional. I don't remember any Ferengi ever sharing a woman. Ferengis understand dating, marriage, and sexual intercourse. They don't share women. They're not polygamous and they're not polyamorous. I found the choice in taking the plot toward the Vasican development. I thought that was a weird authorial choice. I don't think that we needed it, and I think that it felt a little bit forced. And then I wrote, Nog may be Ferengi, and they may have a misogynistic culture, but Ronald D. Moore makes Jake and Nog's friendship seem insane. Because we have to remember that Nog is Rom's son. So, you know, for him to be so far out there, I think it's unrealistic, and it's too much of the teen dating thing. And I think Ronald D. Moore takes it too far. And I do think that it's didactic, and I do find it infantilizing. I don't like it very much. If you're going to be that on the nose, just go ahead and be right out there with it, and don't do it with children. I think it's weird. Reviving Bareil only to slowly kill him is very un-Star Trek. Everything that transpires, including with Dr. Bashir after that, is not good writing, and it's not enjoyable. It's very anti-Star Trek. Ferengis eat bugs, so there would be no reason for a Ferengi woman to preach you food. We're talking about people who eat beetles, mealworms, and drink millipede juice. So it's not, you know, like they're suddenly Klingon and they're gnawing on a saber-toothed tiger. So I found that to be sloppy writing as well. I found the messaging childlike and infantilizing and hyperdidactic. The message, and I put in quotes, you can like friends who are different from you. And then we radically shift just all of a sudden in the final 2 minutes of the show, we radically shift to commentary on the nature of unplugging someone from a ventilator. So we visit this whole idea within the last 2 minutes of someone who is brain dead or on a ventilator. And I wrote here, okay, so this is, we radically shifted to talking about how people should deal with people on life support. Then we get this hyper didactic speech about how it's inhuman to leave your relatives plugged in. You should unplug them immediately. And if you're going to do that, you're going to have to do that in a way that isn't, like the 16th century church talking about it in some type of lesson. You can't do that in the final 2 minutes of the show. If you're going to do that, you're going to have to put on your big boy pants, Ronald D. Moore, and actually dig into that, because that is a huge topic to talk about. And in so doing, he is doing a sociological commentary. So this is something that is beyond his reach. He's, this isn't what he studied, and I don't think he has a place to do it. And so overall, the fact that he is the supervising producer and the teleplay person here, I think Ronald D. Moore just didn't do a good job here. I don't want to learn lessons through children because I'm an adult, and we all know how DC Fontana and Gene Roddenberry felt about making Star Trek about children and making it for children. They were against it, if you don't know that. And I've actually shown a letter written by both of them and signed by both of them. So it's not something that's up for debate. And right. I don't like handling the whole unplugging somebody from a machine when they're whatever they are medically. I don't think that it is respectful, and I don't think that it respects the audience or the issue to handle that in the final 2 minutes, and to do it in such a heavy-handed way. I think that in our world, medicine and technology has advanced to the point where most of us are going to die in a hospital, or we're going to die in the care of an old folks home. We're going to be in a long-term care facility. This is a very serious, scary issue that people really have to deal with. And so if you're going to get into that sort of thing, don't sit there and play with this idea that you're going to be able to save Bareil, and then in the final, where you're just doing some sci-fi, and then in the final minutes switch into this sociological commentary and try to create a lesson there. I think it's extremely disrespectful. Like I said, reiterating my same point, disrespectful to the audience and disrespectful to the situation that we're all going to face. We're all going to die. And because of technology, we're going to have to face, many of us will have to face the choice of making the decision to not to do any more medical intervention. And that is a horrendous experience for billions of people. It's awful. And so I just thought it was cheap and childish and ridiculous to handle it the way that he did. And that's my thoughts. Sorry, everyone.
Nothing to be sorry about. Well done. Well said. Yep. I mean, I didn't want anyone to think I was liking the episode so much. I just stand by what I said about how
I agree.
I agree. I think that Jake handled it well. Put it like that. Maybe, you know, I don't know.
Yeah,
but-
I do agree. I do agree with the nuance of trying to demonstrate that, but it's just to do it with children, I think was very odd. Also because Jake suggested having sexual intercourse with the girls after watching extreme violence in the Hollow Suite. And so it was just, it's some very odd messaging going on here. And like I said, I think that anyone who would slam only a good person unplugs their relatives immediately when anything is wrong. Only good people do that. If you leave your relatives plugged in with the hope that something that some technology will come along and save them, or you're not quite sure who to trust, or you want to get a second medical opinion, you're bad. You're wrong. I think to handle that in the last 2 minutes is very cowardly and wicked. I think it's rather odious. Just nope.
Thank you, Eric K, for the $2 super chat. I appreciate that, buddy. He says, Globby's not going to die. He is Methuselah. Does that mean I'm a Requiem for I'm Flint?
You are.
Yes, that means I get to meet Kirk and Spock.
You could McCoy. Be Methuselah from the Bible, though. He lived for a very long time.
I don't want to be that one. I want to be the one from Requiem for Methuselah.
How long did Methuselah live again? It's been a long time since I was in Bible school. 678 years, is it?
He lived into the 23rd century. Everybody knows that.
How long did Methuselah live? I don't remember from Bible school. If you know, put it in the chat.
I just told you he lived until the 23rd century. He had all kinds of names, including he was Brahms. You know.
Yes, he was.
And he was
very nice art collection too.
Yeah, and he got to hang out with Kirk and Spock before he passed, and he had some fun. So, thank you, Eric K. Appreciate that, buddy.
969. See, I knew it was an odd number. It is. I knew it was like 68, 69, something like that. Scuba Pete, 969 years.
I'm telling you, dude, it's a lot more than that because he lived into the 23rd century. Watch your Star Trek.
And I just want to say that for anyone out there who is, struggling with the idea that they have a relative or someone who they love very dearly who is in a bad way and they need medical help in order to keep going, and you love them very much and you're not sure what to do, you're not a bad person. There's absolutely nothing wrong with you. And it's good to get a second opinion. It's good to massage your ideas. It's good to reach out to a therapist or someone you trust. You can go to your minister, you can go to your priest, you can go to a psychologist and just go and talk about those feelings. And if the person who you love is awake and can talk, but still requires those machines to stay alive, have a good conversation with them. But I just want you to know that what is said in this show about you, being a horrible, terrible person, and that you need to just relieve people's pain, that's not your decision to make, and certainly not on your own. And it doesn't make you a bad person. Many of us will have to face that. Many of us have faced that situation, and so I want you to work it through in your own way that is good for you, that is good for the person who you love, and is good for your family. And some Hollywood Yahoo nincompoop, creating some big long speech in the final minute of a TV show shouldn't create social pressure that makes you feel like you're doing the wrong thing. It is one of the worst things that could ever happen to a human being. Some people would rather die than have to deal with that when it's somebody who they love. And that's difficult. And I'm reaching out to you right now in support and love.
The only thing that makes you a bad person is if you are Jar Jar Abrams, or Alex Klutzman, but we all know that. So they're bad persons. Well. All right, everybody. So number one, what is your, and thank you, by the way, Keely, let's be nice to Keely Chow when he gets here, Mark.
Keely!
He's not here yet, but he just got rolled, and I'm going to be nice to him. I thought he was going to roll my Tigers, and they won. I can't believe it. Anyway, okay, what is your rating of life support?
You have to accept that DS9 is a drama. You can't be too hard on it because it is a drama and it is rarely science fiction. It does have some science fiction, and you'll see me give it A's when it is science fiction. But that said, I'm not going to be too harsh. This is a drama. I just think that you have to be careful with that didacticism. You don't want to infantilize the audience or trivialize horrific issues that face us. C-.
Tear it up. Well, we got the same rating again, I think. Let's see. Let me check one. Yep. I got C-. Like I said, I did think it was. Don't worry, we're gonna get your. Everyone, you can start doing your reviews now. By the way, start putting your reviews in there, and number one will start them for us. Yeah, I go with the C- as well. Like I say, and it's not that I like I said at the outset, it's not that I liked the episode so much. I thought it was pretty sad, and I don't know why you had to do that to poor old Barile. But anyway, and just imagine if Keiko was married to him, she would be saying, "Oh, Barile." Sorry.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what she would say.
So instead of "Oh, Miles." Anyway, but yeah, that scene, it aggravates me what's his face does to him. But I do like that.
Imagine Bones doing that.
It's almost I can't say much until we get to the next episode because we have more Nog crap going on. I never liked Nog very much, to be honest with you. Yep. But anyway. So anyway, all right, let's see what we got here. All right, Lord Thoth says, D, not a fan of where they took Barile. Dark and sad, and gives me the shivers. Watching this again made me sad. Yeah, it was just a bummer ass. It was, I'm not thrilled about that pretty much anytime when everything's got to be a damn bummer. To be honest, Eric K with $5 super chat. Thank you, buddy. He says,
I love this.
Oh, okay. So someone's Clobby is so old. He saw the first animals crawl from the sea. Well, I did, but they're not animals. If you really watch that episode of Doctor Who called City of Death, they weren't animals. They were like blobby protoplasm thingies. But that's okay. Brandon, the anime guy. Hey, Brandon, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Brandon. Nice to see you, my friend. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good to see you there, buddy. Says grade C. Everything with Barile's slow, painful death is weird. This episode, while pulls at the heartstrings for Kira, fails to deliver. Also, Kai Wynn is annoying. Oh, and evil beyond. No, she is so annoying. Her annoyingness makes her even more evil.
Oh, that shouldn't have done that. Hold on, it's just chat's jumping again, honey.
Gotta say that's cool. Okay, so Nog at this point is still annoying. He's always going to be annoying. he is growing, but he is not great yet. Still better than anything from the company of lunatics that shall not be named. Yes.
Yep.
See, here's the thing about that.
True.
For me there, Brandon. I never liked Nog or anything, and I like Jake, fair enough. But I'm just grateful because what Raquel's saying is true. Star Trek shouldn't be about kids. They didn't want it to be that. It's not, even if they're in episodes, it's not the same as with Wussy Crusher.
No,
it's not about kids. They're characters on the show, fair enough. And you can say you don't want any kid characters, and that's fair enough. But they're not saving the damn station every 5 minutes. They may be annoying, and they are. Jesus Christ, but they're not. Wesley's so over the top horrible. And again, it's not even.
He can out-calculate data.
Yeah, it's not even to do with. I can't stand Will Wheaton. Don't get me wrong. It's not even his fault. It's not his fault. He was a kid doing it. It was them. They didn't let him be a kid. They would just let him be a kid every once in a while. But they made him so horribly unlikable and annoying that he makes Nog and Jake look like the best things ever. So I mean, I guess Nog and Jake are just. I want to strangle them sometimes.
Before you do Shooter, would you have time to put in a "Shut Up, Wesley"? Brandon, the anime guy's calling for it. You still have that video I made you with the "Shut Up, Wesley"? He's calling for some "Shut Up, Wesley," and everyone here loves some "Shut Up, Wesley."
It's not here, but I do have this.
Your agonizer, please.
Hey, Keely.
What about? I have had enough of you!
Is Keely here?
Yes, Keely's here.
Keely Chow, what's up, dude? Look, I don't know what to tell you, man. You're not gonna get me rubbing it in. I thought you guys were gonna roll us, so sorry, buddy. Way it goes, brother. Good to see you, though. Thank you for being here, Keely Chow. Roll Tide anyway. Just because hey, this is the way it goes, man. No hard feelings. C+ for Shooter. He says, when we found out Odo loved Akira, Barial's days were numbered. But to get a whole episode dedicated to his death, unexpected. Not bad, but too much political fluff.
Yep.
Hang on.
Oh, Cardi just got here.
Cardinal Sin?
Yeah, and he sent you a gift, and so did Katie Dax.
Cardi.
Cardi's here.
Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing all right.
Please follow Gil on
yes, absolutely.
You can find him as Cardinal Sin on Twitter and also on YouTube. He does movie reviews and interviews and all sorts of things. It's like a variety show. And it's nice to see you, Cardi. Nice to see you, Gil.
Thank you, Cardinal Sin, for the $9.99 super sticker, my friend. I hope you're doing well. I haven't seen you in a while, buddy. I hope everything is good with you, brother. Good to see you. Good to see you. Oh, Katie, you shouldn't have. You're too kind, Katie. Thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat. Really appreciate you. She said, the episode showed the true evil entity that Kai Wen was, someone who would do anything to get to the top. I felt bad for Barial. He deserved better. Yeah, he was an amiable chap, and yeah, it was pretty weird. And
Bones would have never have done that to him. Bones would have never have negotiated slowly killing a man for a political reason. Bones would never stand for that.
Yes. I'll get to that one in a second. I got to find Shooter's second one here. Here we go. Second one for Shooter. He says, the episode starts strong, but drags out. And even though I can see what they were trying to do, it failed to hit the mark.
That's a great comment.
Indeed. Hang on a second. Oops. Come on. Hang on. Let me get to your next one there, Shooter. There we go. B story is more Jake and Nog. Interesting, but unnecessary and a little dull. Yes. First of all, again, forget about what I was saying, all that stuff about the table and all that moral crap. When Nog, I think my worst part about the episode really has nothing to do with any of those moral questions. As soon as Jake tells him he's got a date and Nog just automatically assumes he's going with him, I wanted to punch the TV.
Yeah, it was weird.
That's the part I hate the most. I hate a lot of episodes. Look, last week I had some episodes I really hate. I hate episodes way more than this. I don't really. But that part, I'm like, oh my God, no. If that were a friend of mine, I said, dude, what makes
very
you think you're going with me?
It's very unferengi. And guess who just walks through the door, boss? Although I very rudely interrupted you. Everyone, say hello to Tim's Talk. Tim!
Tim's Talk on your left, buddy. Good to see you.
Yeah, Michael Carney says, damn it, Jim, I'm a doctor, not a murderer. And I totally agree, Michael Carney. That's why Indeed. I do not like this episode, and neither does Lord Thoth.
I would not. I mean, since a friend of mine says, when you tell a buddy you're going on a date, they go, "Oh, cool, man. Go ahead, go you." Not, I'm going with you. What is he, a girl? Sorry, sexism. I know. See, I'm being sexist like
Well, I don't know if that's sexist. Women do go to the washroom in packs.
Right.
And women have traditionally brought their friends along because they want an out.
Fair enough.
The date sucks. They want to bail. That is female culture.
Right.
Deal with it, everyone.
Right. Fair enough. But I was trying to make a Ferengi joke, like I was being a Ferengi.
You're wonderful. I love you.
I'm an idiot.
No, you're not. You're the best.
Let's see. Where was it? Already have a good grasp of Ferengi culture. Shows Nog has a grasp on Federation culture. Yes. Let's see here. Hang on. And finally, there we go. We're finally getting good Bashir. I don't think we backslide into a naive fool, Julian, after this episode. Look, I think, even though a lot of us don't agree with all the things that were written in the episode themselves, Bashir is a very serious character doing something, I don't know, it's just the whole episode. J-Man, I know you're not here, buddy. You probably had to run. But J-Man, every time he leaves, he likes to joke and say stuff like, and he's been doing this for a while. He goes, By the way, every episode of DS9 is a 10. Goodbye. I'll see you later. We're just learning that's not the case for those who hadn't watched it in a while. It's just as flawed. Almost as flawed as TNG. Maybe almost. How about that? JT Kirk says C+. The way Nurse Ratched was written to use Vedic Frankenstein.
I love you so much. I love you. Love you.
And then throw him out. Wow. Where's the Vedic's family when making these medical decisions? The plot is the medical proxy, it seems.
It's so funny that you said that, because
Kirk.
that's the whole thing. That's exactly what I was thinking the entire time. And then I'm like, just Raquel, slow your roll. Don't be really hard on the show. This is a drama. So take a leap there. Maybe his parents have passed away and he was an only child. Okay. But it just comes back. It's because it's like, where is his great aunt? Where is his cousin Buck? Like, it's just weird that Kira's making all of the decisions, and that Bashir, they try and make Bashir look so like he's such a passionate, loving, and principled doctor. And meanwhile, McCoy would have put him out the airlock.
I think I already read one from Thoth, but he's got another one. I guess
he wrote another one because he let his first one go too quickly, and then he was like, "Whoops, sorry."
No, gotcha. D. This is dark. This isn't Star Trek. I hate when I hate what they did with Bareil and the show. Dislike the subplot. Terrible story. It's a fair cop. The great Chris Persia Vindicator Ranch of the North says C-. The science fiction used in sickbay ignored medical fact. You do not use a stimulant to increase blood flow when the patient already has healthy blood pressure and pulse.
Yep. You have to do your research on the medical stuff. And you have to call up a doctor and say, hey, what would we do here? That's what science fiction writers do. That's why if you're a science fiction writer, you have to like research.
Julian's decision to do so means he willingly placed Bareil in harm's way.
Yes.
Even now, this would lead to heart failure or a stroke. What was Julian thinking?
Lovely. I love you, Chris Persia.
Certainly. What were the writers thinking? I hear you there, brother.
Yeah.
He says,
they pooped the bed.
Bed pooped. The outcome, replacing organs and a portion of Bareil's brain, and ultimately choosing to end his life when things didn't turn out how Julian intended. Hang on. The B plot was also unsettling. Underage promiscuity was not something I ever intended to watch in Star Trek. Overall, not a great episode. Well, you're going to get that with soap opera, though.
I love you, Chris Persia.
Well done, sir. Some of this stuff, this is a soap opera, folks. Don't everyone ever tell you different. It's a space opera, whatever you want to call it. I like the show. Don't get me wrong. But even TNG, for all of its crap, was about every week they were out just these closed stories for the most part. They weren't, say what you want about it. It wasn't necessarily an ongoing soap opera that was doing what this show does. It just had a lot of shitty episodes. This, I like the show a lot, but I get because I like the characters, but I not really, I don't know. The soap opera stuff doesn't really do it for me sometimes. Anyway.
I love it when you start calling balls and strikes. You're the best. I love you.
Well, I just don't, I don't know. It's just
love it. Oh, and look at this. Sandra Feliciano, who has a master's in nursing, is going to give her review. So everybody perk your little ears up and give this. I have not read it. I just started, but I'm very interested to hear what Sandra has to say about this.
Sandra says, see. As a nurse, I've seen what people do to keep loved ones alive. Bareil was terminal. What they did was barbaric. He should have been allowed to die. Wynn should have grown a set and taken point. Absolutely. Kai Ratched's terrible.
Yep. I love that JT Kirk calls her Nurse Ratched. It's great.
Oh, yeah. I've called her that since the beginning. I've called her that for years because, again, fine actor. Louise Fletcher's a fine actress. Remember, she passed very recently. Great actress.
A sweetheart.
And she, Nurse Ratched was a terrifying character in a very good movie. But here we go. So yeah. Lord Feliciano Raymond says A-. Sad episode, very touching. R.I.P. Barile. He should not have been suffering. We really get a feeling how evil and hateful Nurse Vedic Ratchet is. I hear you, man.
Michael Carney just left a B5 is more than DS9 in the chat. I wish Zathras were here.
Zathras would appreciate Michael Carney.
He would love that. Can I just do it for him? Crap,
do it.
Crap.
Since Zathras is not here, I'll say it. B5 is better than DS9.
We love you, Zathras.
And Michael Carney says D-. So there you go. Not a fan of this episode. Thank you, Michael Carney. Michael Beacom.
Can I just say, Michael Carney, I'm so happy that you decided to come out of lurk mode and join the chat.
Oh, yeah.
You're a delightful person. You're smart. You're funny. You're a great conversationalist. I'm so happy you decided to join us. You're a cool cat.
Appreciate you. And us Michaels have to stick together because we have another Michael with us as well. In
Michael
addition to you and me.
Beacom!
Michael Beacom says D. First problem, A and B plots. Michael, that's one of the things that I think we share. I'm tired of schizophrenic Star Trek. It happened too much on TNG, and it happens too much on this show. Not that every episode that does that is bad, but it's just don't like it that much. How many A-B plot stories did you ever see on the original series? Zip!
As in none.
Bad or good, the episode was one freaking story.
Well, A and B plots are easier to write, especially if they're serialized. If it's episodic and there's only one plot, you really have to flesh that out. You got to have a lot of meat on the bone.
I think, especially since your show, look, Star Trek original series was over 50 minutes. Theirs is under 45. What's their excuse?
I know. I love it when you point stuff like that out. You're the best, Captain.
You the best. You're the best first officer ever. Envisioning the writers, Ford and Soffer, strapped to the pit and pendulum table with Vincent Price. Vincent Price saying the blade will soon divide them into A and B plots. I can't do a good Vincent Price. Sorry. Let's see here. Second problem. These are the writers of Kazam with Shaquille O'Neal. Well, oh, wow.
Oh, really?
Did they really?
Gross. That's
wow. Right. Well, little bit of light being shed there. Do not let people who write Kazam, of course, they did this before that, but I hear you, write anywhere near your writer's room. Yeah.
Right?
Oh, boy. Ever. Again, that movie probably was after it. Nevertheless, your point is yeah. Now, did they get near any writer's room after Kazam would be my question. Ever. To show you their idiocy level. Right. Page 204, they admit, hang on, let me get it. Okay. Considering killing O'Brien before settling on Barile. That's not their, it wasn't even their call to make. What a bunch of idiots. When who dies is unimportant to the story. That's all you need to know about the story. That's what a beautiful well said. Say. I expect days of our lives music at this point. These are the days of our lives.
I just want to remind everyone in the chat that here we don't talk about the user-generated stuff out on the internet from IMDb and Memory Alpha and just stuff that's just user-generated. We don't produce that here. We don't put that up on the marquee because we don't want to, make it worse. But you need to know that Michael Beacom has a vetted text that is original source material, a published book with direct interviews. So what he's putting up are the facts, Jack. They're not somebody who wrote their wine memoir when they were 80. This is original source material. So thank you, Michael Beacom.
Page 205, Bear. Contrast between A and B plots. You could just feel this sensation going around the room. What the hell have we done? We were appalled. So are we, Ira. Well said, Michael.
Yeah.
Wow, what a bunch of... But I guess I'm supposed to give him some points for admitting it, but,
Look, people... did they want to kill O'Brien? Could you imagine if they would have done that?
So stupid. I'm trying to find it. Oh, his next one. Oh, there we go. That's another one. Doesn't say what number it is, but I think it's after that one. You are right on target. Page 204. The writers weren't particularly happy with the way that Bareil Kira relationship was working out, and weren't certain where it should go. Did I miss one? I don't think
No, I just thought that that you would like that comment.
No, I thought
He's actually been
yeah.
throwing up a whole bunch that go out to
No, I
Jill
got you.
and everyone. So
No, I got you. I just want to make sure I didn't miss any. I thought I'd lost track. Okay. Let's see here. The Great Enigmatic Drop Bear.
here we go.
C-. Jake and Nog's romantic comedy and Bashir's medical drama laced with intergalactic politics are dissonant plot lines.
Yeah.
The rom-com ruined the episode's tone and should have been excised. That's such a good point.
It is a good point.
On the one thing, whether you like the stuff with Bareil or not, why would you combine that with that kind of? I mean, I don't like I know what I don't think about B plots, but if you're going to have a B plot, why would it be anything like that? I mean, in fact, that's another thing. Another argument against B plots and something like this, when it's that serious and dark of a story, even though I don't like that story anyway, it should not be sharing with any other story.
No, I agree. And that's a very good point. And I'm glad you raised it, Enigmatic Drop Bear.
Indeed. The apparent juxtaposition of these plot lines is odd, contrasting the demise of a young romance under humorous circumstances with the demise of a romance under tragic circumstances.
Yeah.
Very, very good point again, as always. Let's see here. Number 3. Interposed within this strange plotting combination is the negotiation of a very important treaty, a consequence of which could see DS9 ceded to the Cardassians. The episode is tonally schizoid.
It is.
And so is the episode. Sorry. I couldn't resist it. Sorry. Because look, everyone, I guess I think I have to confess to you that I'm schizophrenic, and so am I.
No, he's not.
Anyway, I guess it's somewhat appropriate, perhaps ironic, that Bashir would play a Dr. Frankenstein, Abby Normal type role to emphasize how haphazardly assembled this patchwork of an episode was.
Agreed.
Yes, sir. Finally, Bajoran spaceships seem particularly unreliable. They're amassing sufficient examples to support a spin-off series, Bajoran Space Disasters. Yeah, that was just everything about it is just, what a bunch of crappy ass writing. Hungry for Win Adami to muzzle it. Hungry Boy, aka Hungry Boy. Rated GA for god awful. Holy garbaggio, Batman. This was a boredom brisket slathered in soap opera schmaltz. General Hospital meets Days of Our Positronic Lives.
Yep. So true.
That's fantastic. Oh, Good Boy's the best. ED was fantastic too.
Yeah, just
Great stuff.
Comments tonight, you guys. This conversation, this chat is just bumping, and you have all said such wonderful things. This is a fantastic conversation. We appreciate you so much.
Yep, we're spending way too much time on this damn episode. Sorry, everyone. We're gonna speed it up. I promise. D, and that was my fault for going on earlier. So, everything's my fault here.
We love you. Don't do that.
Don't it's best to hate me. I want to be like Bareil. I watched this episode, and now I don't know where I am anymore. Who are you, Nerys? I think I'm in love with Jadzia again, like that other episode. Sorry. Eric K says D because Lord Thoth gave it a D. No, I give it a D because this episode is so dark and does not feel
it doesn't
like Star Trek.
LT and I both feel that way, and so does Eric, and so does Chris.
Fair cop indeed. Mr. Angel, hello there, Chef, says D. Have the distinct feeling the writers never consulted any medical professionals or even considered consulting them. Yeah. Something they really should have done in this fake ethical theme. Ugh. Indeed.
Like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of our positronic lives.
Positronical. ASMR from Raquel. C- from Fabio 100. The main plot was meh, but the Nog and Jake arc in the early seasons was kind of, I think, cringe and eye rolling. So that dragged this episode down to a C minus.
Mhm.
Thank you, Fabby Oak. I'm right there with you. Pleasant Valley Picker says, C. I never found Barile to be a particularly interesting or essential character, and it seems the writers arrived at the same conclusion. Still, it was a solid send-off to the character. The best parts were Julian's steadfast defense of his patient's rights and Kira's heartbreaking monologue at the end of the episode. I'll give you that. Some of that was okay. I like the way I kind of like the way Julian talked to Vedic Ratchet. I like that scene.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's so unrealistic. If somebody loses a limb or they've suffered a traumatic brain injury and they just say, oh, kill me. No doctor is going to kill them. No doctor is going to be like, well, he's decided that he wants me to slowly kill him, so I'm going to do that. Like, it's just...
I found much of the political intrigue with Kai Ratchet tedious and not very interesting. Not bad, but not great. Thank you, Pleasant Valley Picker.
Thank you, sir, for your comments.
Up in here. Thank you. Stephen, a.k.a. Kal-El, says, A. This episode was incredibly well done with plenty of character development and growth throughout the story. In particular, this episode did an excellent job of showing how dedicated to the... Hang on, I got to find your next one there, buddy. Hang on. There we go. Cause of peace Vedic Barile was, even with the risk to his own life. I also really enjoyed Dr. Bashir standing up to Kai Ratchet and calling out her true motives for refusing to release Barile. Hang on a second. There we go. From his obligations to the peace negotiations. The episode also does an excellent job of showing how Jake and Nog, two characters from very different backgrounds, don't allow those differences to end their friendship, but rather strengthen it after coming to a mutual understanding of each other's worldviews. A wonderful episode overall, for the aforementioned reasons. Well, thank you so much, Kal-El. Appreciate you.
I'm going to stay quiet for a little while just because too much banter. We're falling behind, so I'm going to let the boss talk directly to you, but I am here, and I love all of your comments, and I'm reading them all, and I'm very excited about everything that everyone's saying, but we got to catch up on time, so I'm going to zip it for a while, okay, folks?
I'll go as fast as I can, everybody. We'll get moving here. Boosh McFadden says, I vividly remember the double date scene with Nog and Jake. It was cringe before cringe was in the vernacular. Well, there you go. I liked Barry, so I did not like the A plot. D, you lose. Good day, sir. Little young Frankenstein there. A reference there. Wolfie says, rating B minus. Barile wanted to work on the treaty so bad he was willing to deal with the horrible death. Yeah, that was another. That kind of. I wasn't big on that, to be honest, Wolfie. I think it was a little bit. I don't think
traumatic brain injury.
He threw his life away. I guess he figured there was no way Wen would have carried it through. Yeah. There you go, sir. Hang on. Is there another Wolfie? Is there another one by Wolfie? I think that was the only one. That may have been. I think that Wolfie. I'm sorry. I think that was your only one. Okay. The Catman, aka D.D. Meyer, says, "Clave, I give it a C minus. Didn't care for the episode. Everyone much or that much. I think. More I watch this episode, the more I dislike it, and agree with what you and Raquel said about the episode. Thank you. Well, thank you so much, Catman. Appreciate you so much. And now our wonderful communications officer, Jill, as an anti-derivative, says C minus. Although Kira's ending speech is heartbreaking, Barile dies in the dumbest way, and not putting him in Stasis Cheapman's visitors' stellar performance. That's a good point. She was really good. The reason the talks couldn't wait had nothing to do with the Cardassians. Wynn was selfish and eager to gain a political advantage, so she sacrifices Bareil, and he is complicit with it. Yeah, I just, so with you, Jill. That's really kind of, man, you're making me want to put my rating even lower. Julian's character continues to improve as he fights for Bareil by trying to convince Wynn, Ratchet, to continue the talks on her own. But she is too much of a coward to take responsibility. Why is such a dangerous death sentence of a drug like Vasicin even in rotation as potential treatments? It seems barbaric, except as a device to off a side character we no longer need.
That is correct. I totally
kind
agree.
of a phony ass death type of thing, I guess. Says, you know, then out of Axamander says B-. I liked it when I first watched it, and it was a memorable episode. Bareil was a hippie. Nog and Jake were an embarrassment, and Bashir experimented with human life just like a true doctor.
Oh.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you. They're not an Axamander Bear.
That's a very good comment. That's a very cheeky comment and good comment.
Michael Beacom says, they thought the actor playing Miles might be leaving for a while. Okay, for another job, so they consider just killing him. Idiots. Idiots indeed, sir. And thank you for the $10 super chat, Michael Beacom. You're too generous. Thank you so much. He says, the chat for life support has been super on target tonight. Enigmatic, Drop Bear, an anti-derivative Jill, Shooter 8323, and others have all made statements directly reflected or confirmed in the text. Wow. Thank you so much, my friend, for that. And that is good to know. Wow.
Yeah.
Great stuff. Thank you, sir. Now we have Phantom Outsider says, C. Clearly they didn't watch Star Trek V. And what happened to Dr. McCoy? The positronic matrix made no sense.
That's right.
If this is a graph, to his brain, there should have been a brain scan followed by an uploading of his memories then them downloaded into the graph bypass. Just slapping a matrix on made no sense. Nog was a product of a society, but he was able to and did learn and grow. Yes, he does. Mark D with the C for our final review of this episode, folks. C.
The caboose.
Why did Bashir give Bareil Viagra and Bareil mostly dead or all dead? Yeah, it was mostly dead. And was Bareil mostly dead or all dead? Mostly dead. Too soon? Yeah. This episode poses interesting ethical medical questions, but the Jake and Nog subplot detracts from its impact and deedishness.
Yeah.
Ratchet is also so detestable that there is no tension to her decision to sacrifice Bareil for the peace treaty.
I totally agree with that. I think that the writers missed the boat on that, and it was too overboard. I agree, Mark D with C.
I also never bought the romance between Kira and Bareil. It seemed
the kissing,
way too contrived.
Oh, the kissing, the dry mouth, closed mouth necking. It was just disgusting.
Stories. I agree. Yeah,
Midnight's Oblivion's here, boss.
Hey, Midnight's Oblivion. Hello there. Welcome. Good to see you.
Yeah, and the thing I also don't like, Mark, is if somebody dies and they have a traumatic brain injury and they're revived, not only are they not capable of committing themselves to peace talks, but also no doctor would listen to a single thing they said. If they said, yeah, cut my arm off and feed it to the dog,
I'm tired of this episode.
The doctor's going to go for it? Like, he had a traumatic brain injury. He was dead. So it's just, yeah.
Let's
smart people, science fiction people are smart people. We didn't buy that.
Bye to this episode, please, for the love of God. Let's leave this episode back. Are we ready?
Bye.
Bye.
No, do that thing from the movie.
What?
Well.
Oh, well. Bye. Bye. Heart of Stone is our next scintillating episode.
It is, it is, it is. Heart of Stone is season 3, episode 14, prod code 460. We all watched this for the very first time on February 6,
Take the
1995.
con. I must get something real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay, give her. All right, folks, I'm going to be reading extemporaneously from the user-generated plot synopsis provided by Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. On board a runabout, Odo and Kira are in pursuit of a member of a terrorist group known as the Maquis. Crap, I shouldn't have said the T word on air. I hope that doesn't affect our algorithm. Anyway, they follow the Maquis vessel to a small moon. Landing, they find the vessel, the nuclear vessel, no, I'm kidding, is empty and split up to search for the pilot. After a short while, Odo returns to find Kira with her foot caught in an expanding crystal mass that Odo is unable to remove. As Kira is slowly being covered by the crystal, dangerous seismic tremors increase in the surrounding rock. Kira insists that Odo abandon her and flee to safety. He attempts to free her using an ultrasonic generator and tells her about his past as they wait for the crystal to shatter. When the generator fails to work and Kira is nearly engulfed in the crystal, Odo confesses his love for Kira. Aww. To his surprise, she says she's in love with him too. Swoon. Suspicious of Kira's response, Odo points a phaser at her, demanding to know who she really is. Kira and the crystal suddenly morph into a changeling, one of the founders of the Dominion, Salome Jens, who reveals that she stole the Maquis ship in order to try and convince Odo to return to the Dominion. She reveals the real Kira's location and transports away. Odo finds Kira and tells her of the founder, but not of his feelings for her. Well, that's an odd sentence construction. Meanwhile, on Deep Space Nine, Nog attempts to convince Commander Sisko to endorse his application to attend Starfleet Academy. Sisko is doubtful and suspects Nog is engaging in some underhanded scheme, especially since Nog's request was accompanied by the customary bribe Ferengi culture expects when making such requests. To test Nog's resolve, he gives him the task of counting the inventory of the cargo bay. Nog completes the task quickly, but Sisko still has doubts. Sisko tells Nog that he will not give him a recommendation. Nog confesses that he wants to do it so that he does not end up like his father, Rom, whose engineering skills are not valued by Ferengi culture. What? Sisko, stunned by the young Ferengi's upstanding ambitions, agrees to recommend Nog to the Academy. When Nog tells Rom and his uncle Quark of his intention to join Starfleet, Quark adamantly forbids. But Rom, in an uncharacteristic act of courage, stands up to his brother and proudly grants his permission for Nog to join Starfleet. And that is all the collective internet has to say about Heart of Stone. Hey, boss, you back?
I'm backish.
Tell me what you thought of Heart of Stone.
Ah, boy, I don't know.
Oh, it's Midnight Oblivion's birthday. Happy birthday.
Really? Happy birthday to you. Hey, hey, hey.
Your Midnight Oblivion.
Yes,
Happy
excellent.
You.
Well, good, good. Happy birthday to you, my friend.
Scorpio.
Oh, my. Yeah, there you go. I don't know. I guess it's filler and character stuff.
Yeah.
But it's just sort of not particularly. In other words, I understand these people have this long range plans. Let me tell you something. Look, let's be fair. That's what you get with soap opera. You get building block stuff, and they're working on the whole Kira Odo thing, and they're working on the Dominion and the Founders stuff. Meanwhile, Nog, this is from 1 week ago. We see what again, Nog's a kid. I get it. We see his attitude towards women. We see him acting like a complete ass and he's always annoying. Nog is always annoying to me. By the way, I don't know what you don't think. I'm always soft on Nog all of a sudden. I'm not. But him wanting to join Starfleet, I can relate to. And I can relate to him saying he's been raised, but see, Ferengi were all raised around a lot of other Ferengi. They're a bit isolationists. I mean, they don't care about anyone but other Ferengi. They don't even care about each other. So they're pretty cutthroat. but he was exposed to Jake Sisko for years now. He's been around all these other different species. And I think him wanting to join the Federation, not the Federation, he's not a Federation citizen, but him wanting to join Starfleet, wanting to be different from the rest of the Ferengi, that's something Star Trek would do. So I think that was pretty Star Trek-ish of him. And I don't mind that bit of the story. It's still just not particularly, it's still just an episode. It's like things and stuff are happening. And after you watch it, you're like, wow, things and stuff happened. And that's, let's see what happens next week now. So it's not like it would look. Last week there were some episodes that made me yell. There have been episodes that make me want to punch things. These episodes don't make me want to punch things. I'm just like, yeah, it's just talking, and it's talking heads, and it's Days of Our Galaxy, or whatever, and yeah, it's just. I mean, at least they're not pissing me off about the Mirror Universe or something like that, like they're going to be doing again soon. At least they're not pissing off Captain Infinity about time travel yet, but they will. So it's just, this episode was filmed and written and it acted. And by the way, there was some, interest. I like the part when Sisko confronts Nog and, some of the stuff like that.
The only good part.
Yeah, I mean, I like that stuff. I actually kind of like the Nog stuff in this. I'm not going to lie, but I just don't really care about it either. It's like, that was okay. But
do you like the Nog stuff, or are you liking the Avery Brooks stuff?
Avery Brooks. I mean, yeah. No, but I think it's interesting to see that a Ferengi, he would want to be the first Ferengi in Starfleet.
It's true.
No, that stuff's okay. He's wanting to grow. Nog said some horrible things to a woman last week. His friendship with Jake, this shows the progression in the evolution of Nog as a character, which is fine.
It's true.
And I don't mind that. I like that. That's fine. Doesn't make me like an episode. Just like last week when last episode when I'm talking about the things that it made me think of. That doesn't tell me that the episode's any good. I was just talking about the bigotry and the ideas that were bad ideas that the Ferengi have, and a character growing out of them. That to me is Trekish. Like you said, there are a lot of things in that stupid episode that we just talked about that are so not Star Trek. But talking about ideas and prejudices and things like that is Star Trek. Mm-hmm. And having him evolve like that, again, I don't like kid characters being there either, but it's there. We're stuck with it. If you don't watch this show if you don't want a space opera, folks, I don't know what to tell you.
It's so true.
But this one is just it. Yeah, I'll put it to you like this. Hey, D-Bud.
Hey, D-Bud. We were talking about you. Are your ears burning, honey?
Hey, man. Well, we shouted you out at the beginning of the show, for sure.
We did.
I'll tell you what a buddy of mine, and we'll get along, a buddy of mine used to say about the buffet at Ryan's. Everyone have a Ryan's near them? Remember that place? They don't have them anymore.
No, but I haven't eaten yet, so stop talking about buffet.
Well, this won't be a big deal. It's not like it's good. It was kind of okay. You go there, and you get hungry, so you eat, and it's pretty good. It's just sort of okay.
Yeah.
And we would all say, why do we come here all the time? He said, what about this food? You think this? He said, well, and he would say, it has mass and it occupies space. So in other words, it did the job. We ate. We're not hungry anymore.
Yeah.
This episode was filmed and shown, and it got us through another episode.
Yay.
They punched the clock. Yeah, it was anything like it was similar to Golden Corral. Yes. Very much like Golden Corral, Stephen, and Golden Corral's pretty scary. Anyway, so that's all I have to say about that. Go with your notes, then. We'll just we can burn this one up quick.
Okay, we'll just burn this one really quick. Odo and Kira fighting like an old married couple is weird. What are these writers doing? Barial's body isn't even cold yet and may not even be buried. When was the funeral? Where was the funeral? Did Kira attend? This is the woman who was so close to Barial, she made medical decisions for him instead of his family or relatives. Okay. A phaser should work on a founder. A phaser shod definitely work on a founder.
And will, by the way.
Rom has a Mark D with a C moment. Yeah, poor Mark. Mark D with a C is in this episode.
Steven, Golden Corral is awesome, he says. Sorry, go ahead.
Here's the quote. Everything when Quark looks at Rom, everything is his fault. It says so in his contract. So it's just so funny because engineers get picked on so hardcore, and that was like the perfect Mark D with the C quote in the show. I was like, poor Mark. I actually yelled out, poor Mark. Engineers, they love to change things.
Love to change things.
Yeah. Do you like how I'm building on that dialogue? Like I'm making it more
Mhm.
Mark than McCoy. Anyway, why wouldn't Odo pour himself into the crack between Kira and the purported crystal and expand himself until it bursts? We learn the nature of Odo's name. I did think that was interesting and well done. Odo
Right.
Itao. Why does the changeling who struggles with humanoid form and naturally appear as Dr. Mora appear perfectly as Kira? I'm going to say that again. Why does the changeling who struggles with humanoid form and she naturally appears as Dr. Mora, okay, just like Odo, she appears perfectly as Kira?
You've already confounded us with the fact that she's completely invulnerable to phasers.
I know. It's just the stupid is strong here. And then
Right.
the last thing I put is I dislike Nog and these A-B plots. But this
Oh.
one was relatively enjoyable once he gets in there with Cisco.
Yeah, I mean, again, I can see him. I can kind of relate to some of that, warm up to it. But again, here's the thing. Here's the sad thing about the stuff in the cave. All right, Rene Aubergenois and Kira Ananovic are so terrific, even in a dumb idea and dumb. Their acting is wonderful. The characters, I love these characters. That's why we excuse a lot with the show, I think, to be honest. And he's terrific in his performance. He's always great. But like you say, if the founder was going to pull this trick, find some other way than to tell us the whole time it was you being phasered and drilled and all this other crap. And you're obviously, she's super changeling, because we all know, I'm not spoiling anything, but we all know a phaser does work on a damn founder later.
And so does vibration. And high-pitched sound, because that's what turned Odo evil. Remember?
Right. Find some other way to at least make your stupid story happen. I mean, that made no damn sense.
And it's weird because you know that Odo had founder sexual intercourse with the Salome Yen's character. So when they were at the Golden Lake, they meld. There was definitely a heavy implication that what they had done was deeply intimate. And you could see Odo deriving a great deal of pleasure from it. I also thought that it was weird that the Salome Yen's character, the chief founder, like the head honcho founder, that she said, I just wanted to see how far you were willing to go for these humans and why you cared for them. I think that's dumb. You know what would have been much smarter? If the writers would have had Salome Yen say, you love these humans even after you melded with me and just left. And then we would have had this feeling of, oh my gosh, she has like feelings for Odo. Oh, and then I think that also would have been a much better setup for what's coming, although I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but there's a big old triangle coming, if you know what I mean. And I'm not going to say any more, but I think that would have been clever writing. But I just thought that the Salome Yen's angle was dumb, and the way they explained it was dumb.
Someone tell ED that it's safe to come back now. I think he went on mute.
Oh no, ED, I love you. Come back.
Hungry Boy. Sometimes bottle episodes contain stale, flat RC cola. You know, I haven't had a RC cola in forever. I love
RC cola. You know what RC cola is really good over?
What?
Orange ice cream. Oh, so good.
Just for that, I took a sip of my cherry Coke.
I love cherry Coke.
Oh, that's my favorite. Okay. What are we doing here? Okay, so those were your notes, pretty much. We good on it. We can get moving.
Yeah, I'm totally done, boss. Okay.
What is your rating of?
I give it a D, as in poopy diaper. Oh yes, I love Shasta. Midnight's Oblivion. I wanna pop. I wanna Shasta. Do you remember that from the 70s? That was such a good commercial.
I remember Shasta, yeah. And I'm Fanta. I'm gonna go with the C- again. Like I say, I only do that because I reserve my D's for ones that really piss me off. And and this didn't piss me off. I was just like, yeah, sure, okay, yeah. You're over now. Good. Can I go now? pretty much that. All right, so my friends, please go ahead and give your ratings and any reviews. Let's keep them relatively pithy since we got, we're trying to catch up on time.
Short and sweet.
Yeah, and by the way, why spend that much time on this episode? They certainly spent no time writing it.
Yeah, they don't care about us. We shouldn't care about them.
We spend more thought on, I guarantee you, we spend more thought on these stories than they did in 1990, whatever it was. Us here just doing these little reviews that we do. Because they just don't care, I guess. They sit around.
They don't care about you.
No, they don't. So star away number one, and we will knock this one out.
Yeah, Phantom Outsider. How about Tab? Do you remember Tab? I didn't mind Tab.
Did you like Tab? I don't know.
I also liked Fresca.
Fresca, yeah, but Tab was weird. Had a weird taste to it somehow.
The thing is like I like all that stuff that you make the weird swamp water and like floats out of. I like bizarre tasting floats. Like if you have like rum raisin ice cream and you pour root beer over it. Like I like that sort of thing. And I think it's like the girl that likes the dirty diner in me. I will definitely go to like the diners, drive-ins, and dives. I will have the greasy cheeseburger. I'll have the extra gravy, and then I want some monster like Frankenstein float. Anyway,
hey, lemon pie.
Lemon pie.
Good to see you. All right, so let's start reading our reviews while you're starring those. Michael Carney says Zathras gives this episode an F. Also, but no one listens to Zathras. I do. I love Zathras. In fact, Michael Carney, I dedicate this, since Zathras isn't here, I dedicate this one, sir, to you, as soon as I find it. Where is it? What do I do with it? Damn it. I had it. Oh, here we go. This is for you. Well, let me move it up first so I don't lose it. Okay,
Chat
this is for
just
you.
went bazonga crazy.
Here you go, Michael.
Crap.
There we go. Boosh McFadden says,
Boosh!
The Rom Nog situations were fun. Odo using his detective skills and knowledge of his friends to outsmart the changeling was okay, but the scene was so boring, actually, and overall pretty dumb. See, meh. I hear you, sir. Thank you so much, Boosh McFadden. Shooter says B. A story isn't bad. A nice twist ending. The attempt to shatter the crystal was a good idea, and Odo's detective skills are top notch. Yeah, I'm with you there. That stuff I'm fine with. It just kind of, some of the stuff like Raquel said didn't add up. Still, not great for an A story. I enjoyed the B story more, says Shooter. That's number one.
It's actually a D story, as in dirty diaper. Kidding. I'll be quiet now.
Nog's decision to abandon the pursuit of profit for a more fulfilling purpose in life is a brilliant change in direction for the character. Story well thought out and told. That was my favorite thing about it as well, Shooter. I thought that is pure Star Trek in the sense that he's going against all of his things he was taught culturally to evolve as a being, and I like that. I like that about Nog, even though Nog's an annoying little. By the way, Aaron Eisenberg, rest his soul, was a good actor, but sometimes Nog just really, Anyway,
it's like Keiko. You hate the character, but you love the person. The person's
Yes.
an amazing person.
Yes.
Just written badly.
Indeed. Ultimately, the best part of this show is both stories' endings. Also, did everyone notice that Aaron Eisenberg was at the right height to look straight at Terry Farrell's boobs? No, sir, but I can say that's a good height.
You jealous, Shooter? Pew, 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 pew.
Good sight. That's a good sight to have. Well done, yes. Midnight's Oblivion says C-. Thank you, Midnight's Oblivion.
This ain't your birthday.
The great enigmatic Drop Bear says B+. The pattern of dissonant plot lines continues with this episode, albeit here they're less discordant. The Nog and Odo Kira threads are not complementary, but don't wreck the tone of the episode. See, It's a quirk of modern viewing patterns that the prior ep's closing scene clashes with this ep's opening scene. The week gap between episodes helps diminish incongruities, sorry, in continuity. Sorry about that tongue twister there, Enigmatic Bear. I'm okay with that word, but I messed up. This episode was clever in the way it flipped unrequited love story tropes. Odo had to confront and transcend his own feelings to deduce the founder's ruse. The way Odo picks apart the plot holes and narrative cliches to discover the founder's ruse seemed almost fourth wall in the way it anticipates and allays fan criticism.
Yes.
Interesting. Both Auberginois and Visitors' performances were exemplary. They substantially carried the story and were instrumental in bringing the surprise factor to the reveal. Well done, as always.
Sensational conversation. Love you, Edie.
Well done, Edie, as always.
Erudite Bear. Dropping the mic.
Indeed. Katie Dax. Love you, Katie. Great to see you. Says B-. Changeling woman ruins the Odo Kira potential. She's not. Oh, yeah. I saw you say something earlier. Katie, you're not a big fan of Changeling Lady. I take it. I hear you. I do understand. She's really. I'm not a big fan of her either.
I'm in love with you, Odo.
Wolfie says, rating A-. So if founders are running around in Maquis craft causing shenanigans, where else are they? When Cisco rings the truth out of Nog, I thought we are now firing on all thrusters.
I love that he used the Irish word shenanigans. Can we get a shout out to anyone who uses Irish words? Shenanigans.
Bigora. Let's see here. Pleasant Valley Picker says C. Well, it's crystal clear for me. Another second-tier episode. I never bought that the real Kira was trapped in crystal, so the reveal was ho-hum. Oh, okay, I got you.
Ho-hum.
Hang on a second. I got one more for you, I think. Okay, there we go.
Eric K says he has a splinter in his finger, so he's going to soak it so he can pick the splinter out. So he's not going to be reviewing the next couple. Kate, make sure that when you get it out, you do it in a way that's clean so you don't get an infection in your finger, please. And what were you building today?
Yes.
Be careful.
Get that finger out of your ear. You don't know where that finger's been.
Use rubbing alcohol, please. Clean it.
The developing of Odo's feelings for her was the best part. Nog wanting to join Starfleet was fun, but a pretty minor B plot, says Pleasant Valley. Thank you, Pleasant Valley.
Boosh McFadden. Yeah. Long live Ireland.
Oh, I had a second one for Hungry Boy. I thought that was
Boosh.
I'm sorry, Hungry Boy. I forgot your. I must have got distracted because something happened. I'm so sorry, dude. Let me get your. I don't have your first one back up here, but I did his first one. I didn't know he had another one. It didn't say he had more. I don't think.
Oh, maybe he changed his mind. That happens sometimes.
I don't know. It says. I don't know. Maybe so. I mean, now I'm confused. Did he have one of three and I just missed it? I could have sworn. Oh man, my memory's so. Sorry, Hungry Boy. I'm just gonna go with it.
He'll forgive you.
And
it's a pretty rich conversation. He's talking with like 5 or 6 people at one time. So I think he'll go with the flow. Don't worry about it, Captain.
And Nana doing okay, it's cool. And Nana doing so well, pretending to be an alien, pretending to be Kira, that it was like the richest chocolate gelato. Maybe I wasn't paying attention very well. I'm sorry, everybody. But it all feels as cobbled together as one of the last 10 eps of Lost in Space. Odo's Amor deserved better. Though Renee excelled, his guardian tenderness was perfectly expressed. Sorry about that, Hungry Boy.
He says that we read a cola comment instead of his first comment. That's weird.
Oh, find me the first one if you can.
I'm going to go look for it right now.
And sorry,
but I don't remember seeing that. I thought I got his number one, but the chat did jump. The chat did do one of its gigantic burps. So we'll see. Let me go look.
I just burped, so that's the chat did too, probably.
Burp? But
Michael
did you
Carney,
say burp when you burped?
No, I just said it. Michael Carney says D- paint dry. So
Yeah,
yes.
Hungry Boy's first one got vaporized. It's not here.
Oh crap. I'm sorry. Well, if you want to put it back up there, brothers, feel free. Sorry about that, man. And by the way, I'm going to defend paint drying. I'm tired of people always slandering paint drying. Okay.
Think of the paint.
I've had it with the paint dry thing there, Michael Carney. You bad person, you. Just kidding.
Everyone's telling me that if I want
dry.
a tab, I have to order something first.
Oh, that's a Back to the Future joke.
I know. I love that line.
Love it. So, no, but I like paint, my friends, and I will defend it. It's right to dry anytime it wants to. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Michael Carter.
What is this?
Sandra says C-.
Oh, I got it.
Odo, okay. Odo wants to be accepted so badly, he ultimately overlooks the founder's bad behavior. Nog wants to become more than his background. He steps out despite the odds and the disapproval of his people. I think they were definitely starting to evolve.
Jill found it
pretty well there.
Just so you know, Jill found it. And Jill,
Jill,
do you know that this 100% is not on our side of StreamYard? I wonder what happened there. I wonder why they zapped it on our side. Weird. Anyway, thank you for that, hon.
Yeah, thank you, Jill. The Odo Kira connection warms my heart. This is a waste of what could have been. I see no reason why I could have got vaporized, but it's weird.
There's nothing.
Stuff does though.
It doesn't. But he didn't even say anything.
No, I don't get it. Fabio 100 says C. For the founders that are also shapeshifters, they lack fantasy in their schemes. Yes, a Nog story.
Yeah, right.
Lord Thoth says, I hate to give something else a D, but yeah, not a fan. It gets better. Promise. Yeah, it does.
I love that. It's great because Lord Thoth, that's a Scorpio right there. Doesn't want to give the negative feedback, but has to tell the truth. That's the Scorpio in LT.
It is. JC Kirk says D-. Alternate titles. Kira gets a hard.
Oop.
And
see, that one didn't get vaporized. Little innocent
dot word on for Odo. I guess we'll get away with it. Kira gets rock soft, dude. I have to be careful, but thank you. Thank you, JP. And it was much appreciated, buddy. Good one. Don't worry, it was a good one. Katie Dax again says, I preferred the B plot of Nog. His speech to Sisko wanting to join Starfleet was really special, and I liked Nog proving himself and his interactions with Jadzia. Yeah, that was actually, yeah, I'm with you there. That's why I didn't go too low with my rating. However, Raymond doesn't feel the same way. Raymond goes with a D. Dumb. Kira and Odo was so transparent. Nog has slight potential to improve. We shall see. Move on.
Look at that. Even made the dolphins cry.
We're moving on, sir. Chris Persia says it's Freaky Saturday. The B plot was more enjoyable than A plot. I hear you. Appreciate Nog wanting to grow, but to be more than what he is. Took Otto too long to detect the inaccuracies in the situation he was in. C, says the great vindicator of the North. Stephen M. Kal-El says, A. Another great episode with a wonderfully told story. I particularly enjoyed the growth that Nog showed in this episode, from his determination to joining Starfleet to ultimately revealing to Sisko why it meant so much to him to do so. Although it was based on a trick to find out why Odo had rejected rejoining the Great Link, the conversations between Odo and Kira were nonetheless very revealing and showed the vulnerable side of Odo, I think he means. Rom standing up for Nog to Quark was and reaffirming that Rom, not Quark, has the final say in matters concerning his own son. Yep, I like that too. This episode was an amazing example of DS9's continuation of not only great world building, but character building as well. Thank you so much, Kal-El. Well said, as always, my friend.
Thank you so much.
Michael Beacom says, C. Shoddy sci-fi again, saved by this talented cast. Can act by this talented cast can act its way out of even the most lackluster scripts. Page 207. They admit that intended B story of Nog was adopted by the fans over
The Kira
the
one.
Kira story. Wow. Hang on, let me find your next one there, Michael. That's one. Where's number 2?
Should be there. I got
That's
it.
2. Number 2 is not there.
What?
I see his 3.
What the heck is
No
going
2.
on tonight?
I don't have Michael's second one.
But I clickety clicked his second one. Oh, I hope there isn't something wrong with the chat.
All right, well, his number 1 is at 10:59, if that helps. So if you want to look for that, while you're doing that, I'll read Jill's and we'll get back to his.
Weird. What the heck is going on with the chat?
Just if you could look for it out there, do Jill. We'll check again and see if you find it. But Jill's is C+. Compared to the ridiculousness in how he was portrayed in that episode, in the last episode, I appreciate Nog taking a turn towards Starfleet and the motivations behind it to provide something of value. However, I dislike that there's an insinuation that Ferengi have to go into business. You're not going to have a well-rounded futuristic warp civilization without scientists and other professions. Something I think about a lot, Jill, how that's what I said it's something I touched on that at the beginning of the show, where you can't write, just like humans are all different with all kinds of different desires and attitudes and views. You can't write it where all Klingons are the same, or all Ferengi are the same, or all Cardassians are the same, or all Vulcans, or even all Vulcans. They make all Vulcans logical. Why should they all be logical? And so anyway.
Boss, just so you know, I just took some screenshots because I think we should actually complain to StreamYard. This is another person who has been vaporized on our side for absolutely no reason. So I actually drew the two together, like the one of 3 and then the 3 of 3, and there's nothing in between. So
can't find two, huh?
I don't know why I took some screenshots of it to show it to you, and we can also submit them to StreamYard because it's not there, and I don't know what's going on. But if somebody could help, I would really appreciate it if you guys can see it.
Well, I'm gonna finish up with Jill real quick, and then we'll get to his again. We'll get to his. The founders want Odo back above all other goals. I think they've infiltrated enough to know an eerie amount of intel on Kira. That's another thing. I mean, how did she know all this stuff? How was she able to pretend to be Kira?
That's what I was thinking
all those
the whole
things
time.
Was something that made me wonder, especially since I'd already seen the episode, so I knew who she was.
Yep.
And the first time you watch it, you may not think about that so much, but if you've seen it, you go, how the hell does she know all that stuff? This is only the beginning of how the Dominion will manipulate events. I don't know how she knew too much. It was just kind of
she knew way too much, and it was very intimate stuff where she was and she was expressing a lot of emotion, and I don't know. But back in the 90s, like back in 95, I was thinking to myself that showed the heavy intel that was happening on DS9.
She knew a lot of intimate stuff.
But I mean, just it's a little over the top. I was a little too generous in 1995. I need to get over myself. It is a poopy thing. I agree with Jill.
I'm going to get back to Michael and give everyone a little bit more time to see if anyone's able to find a second one by doing this. Scuba Pete says D-. It was more exciting to watch actual crystals grow in the lab.
Oh, Michael Beacom says he changed one word from jerk to twit, and he'll see if it'll let it
my
go.
goodness. Okay. Why, you can't say jerk now? All right. Well,
it's ridiculous. See. I mean, come on.
Titan Outsider says, it was just them trying to, I think, do more Kira Odo relationship, showing Nog wanting to join Starfleet, shows Nog wants to be a better person, depending on how the shape shifting. Wow, they let that go. Wait, he left the letter out. You notice works. They could be one more resistant to phaser fire if they increase the molecular density or become a phaser-resistant substance at point of contact. Okay.
Chris is saying that too definitely isn't on what they're seeing either. So everyone's saying that it's probably the YouTube, not the StreamYard. And I loved this comment. Look at what Eric says here.
Eric,
I really like this.
You ever think through the great length they learned more than you know? I guess it's possible. That's a good
great
point.
Golden Lake of sex and knowledge.
The Bronze Rancher's got it. So we're not going to have the second one then, or is he getting it?
I think he sent it. Did he message it to you, or did he email it?
Did you email it to me?
He
yes, he did.
Emailed it to you.
Okay, thank you. All right, so let's see. His first one again. That was still good. We'll get them all in order here. C. Shoddy sci-fi again, saved by this talented cast, which can act its way out of even the most lackluster scripts. Page 207. They admit that intended B story of Nog was adopted by fans over Kira. Hang on. Over Kira A story. Worse, page 207. Let's see. They knew Nana Visitor was claustrophobic, but Wolf still wrote a story where she had to be strapped immobile to the floor. You're a twit, Wolf.
Yeah.
Yes.
So true.
B. The storyline was inspired. Let's see. I'm sorry. Okay. The third one here. The storyline was inspired by Wolf's fanciful through of Wesley, Jake, Alexander, and Nog. Wouldn't it be funny if Nog were the one to end up a Starfleet captain? Hysterical. Okay. Thank you so much, Michael Beacom. And we have the final review of this episode.
In the tradition of great Joshin amongst Trekkies, Boosh McFadden has asked in the chat, and I know that this could go very sideways very quickly, so I'm going to ask you guys to behave like adults. But I mean, it's just hysterical, so I have to read it. This is from Boosh McFadden. What do you guys think the Great Lakes smells like?
Oh boy, I'm going to read the rest of these so we can get to the next one.
Yeah, sorry.
Thank you.
Sorry,
Boosh.
I just thought it was funny.
That's okay. You're allowed to think it's funny, and I do too. But I'm not going to admit it. So. Thank you, Bruce. Just kidding. Just messing with you. Mark D with a C says C minus. For Kira gets stoned.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For Kira gets stoned. The twist at the end is ruined by the lack of logic in this episode. How can someone survive phasering themselves? Even the founder, but I don't know. Why must characters always be shipped together? Because of soap operas.
Soap opera.
At least Nog got his moment to shine. Maybe I can hire him to organize my toys and comics. Maybe you can, dude, or maybe you can.
I love the answers. Keep those answers coming. I love it. Michael says cheese. Stephen M says sewer. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. I love it. It's great.
Ready for our next episode? Are we ready?
We are. It smells like a parking garage in Florida. Oh, God. Keep it going, guys. I love you. Okay.
Our next episode is Destiny.
Destiny is season 3, episode 15, prod code 461. We all watched this for the very first time the day before Valentine's Day in 1995. So February 13th, 1995. And now I'm going to read the plot from Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia, which is user-generated, so it might suck. And I haven't pre-read it, so I could make mistakes. However, courage! A team of Cardassian scientists arrive at Deep Space Nine to help build a relay that will allow communication through the Bajoran wormhole. A Bajoran priest, Vedic Yarka, tells the station's human commander, Benjamin Sisko, that an ancient prophecy predicts that this project will destroy the wormhole. 3 Vipers, the Cardassians, will cause the Temple Gate, the wormhole, to be cast open and burned. Yarka is treated with skepticism, especially when it is learned that only 2 Cardassian scientists are expected, not 3. When they arrive, however, they explain that a 3rd scientist will arrive later. This information makes Major Kira, Sisko's devout Bajoran second in command, begin to believe the prophecy. Yarka confronts Kira about her faith and her duty to help Sisko, whom Bajorans believe to be the emissary of the prophets. When the third scientist arrives, she is greeted coldly by Ulani and Galora. Well, Chief O'Brien and Galora work on the station, complicated by the fact that Galora misrepresents O'Brien's hostility towards her as an romantic overture. Sisko takes Ulani and Dejar through the wormhole in the USS Defiant to set up the relay. They discover a comet which Kira believes to be the Sword of the Stars mentioned in the prophecy. She discusses the prophecy with Sisko, but he chooses his role as Starfleet officer over that of emissary. The relay is deployed and the test begins. A particular carrier wave causes the comet to change course and head toward the wormhole. If the comet enters the wormhole, a substance in its core, silithium, will cause the wormhole to be destroyed. O'Brien proposes modifying the Defiant's phasers to be able to vaporize the comet. Sisko, despite starting to believe in the prophecy, goes ahead with the plan. Instead of vaporizing it, the phasers fire a standard burst that breaks the comet into 3 fragments. O'Brien's modifications never came online. Galora accuses Dejar of sabotaging the phasers, which turns out to be true. Dejar was sent by the Cardassian intelligence agency, the Obsidian Order, which opposes collaboration between Cardassia and Bajor to sabotage the mission. To prevent this silithium from destroying the wormhole, Sisko and Kira guide the fragments through with a shuttlecraft. Some of the silithium, nevertheless, leaks out and reacts with a wormhole. The reaction enables the communications link to be established. Convenient. Kira and Sisko realize that the prophecy has come true. The 3 Vipers were the comet's fragments, and the silithium ignited the wormhole, casting open the temple gates to allow communications through them. And that is all the internet has to say about Destiny. Please do tell me, Captain, my captain, mon capitaine, please tell me what you thought of this episode.
Do my eyes deceive me, or do we have a one damn story? I'm almost think it's the greatest episode ever just because it's a one damn story. It could be the worst story ever, and it's one damn story. Thank you, Jesus. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank the prophets. Jesus, great. I mean, sorry. Prophets.
Hey, don't call them spoonheads, Boosh. They had on their spoonhead eyeshadow. They were sexy spoonheads.
I may have to recuse myself from reviewing this episode because anything with my girlfriend and one, Tracy Scoggins in it can't be bad. Even as a Cardassian. Well, I met her once, by the way. Lovely lady, very sweet. I really enjoyed meeting her. She was great.
She is extremely hot.
Oh, good Lord. I love her. I mean, and she could even be a good looking Cardassian. That's just tough. That's not easy.
Well, it was funny because I was going to put that in my notes. Like, that a woman is seriously hot if she puts all that crap on her face. Like, if she has an armadillo. Good, yes. If she has an armadillo on her face, like if she can pull off Klingon or if she can pull off Cardassian, she's hot.
Katie Dax is running. Katie, thank you for being here with us tonight, my dear.
Good night, honey.
I know you. It's lovely to see you as always. Thank you so much. You take care. Have a wonderful rest of your night and weekend, and we hope we see you. Don't be a stranger. Come see us soon.
Bye, honey.
Yeah, I think this is a pretty entertaining episode overall. It has focus because when you do one story, you have focus. I like that about it. It's a pretty interesting idea.
Honey, we love you too. Sorry to interrupt you, boss. Honey, we love you too. And please tell your mom that we say hello. And have a good week. Have a nice day at church tomorrow. And have a great week at school. And we love you very much. And, keep on excelling. Study hard. You are the best. And you're just the sweetest. And thank you so much for joining us. Good night, sweetness.
Yes, Kal-El. I know she was Cat Grant on Lois and Clark, and she was also, of course, the captain on the 5th season of Babylon 5. So, yeah. I think this is a pretty interesting episode. The stuff where, you know, a lot of the conflict where Cisco is really having his belief system, you know, shaken by, is this prophecy real? Things are really starting to get spooky with this prophecy thing. I'm going to buy into this stuff. I think this is a compelling, pretty interesting episode that deals with it. There's some science fiction elements to it for sure, but there's also a lot about shaking beliefs. And I just think that the drama and the writing the writing here is pretty good. I find this episode to be pretty entertaining, not super dark or anything, not super you know, serious, but it has some serious undertones with what are the prophets? What do the prophets mean? Can this I don't know, can this prophecy be true? He's even starting to wonder himself. And some of the stuff with O'Brien and Tracy was kind of funny. I thought again, overall, I think this is a decent, enjoyable episode just for me. I thought it was okay. Maybe I'm just having, you know, maybe I'm having some, just because I got to see an episode that had one goal and it was fairly focused.
And it wasn't teen dating?
It wasn't teen dating. Yeah, they were dealing with the story. I mean, you have, just like anything else, you have your other bits in the story. You can do that. It's not a B story to have other character moments, like with what went on between O'Brien and the lady, my lovely Tracy, that stuff, the stuff with the Vedic, but again, a lot of the conflict with Cisco and Kira, what they were going through, were the stuff with the prophets, different things like that. I thought made it a pretty compelling, pretty interesting episode. The idea itself, they were doing something that had to do with, they weren't fighting a war and they weren't solving everybody's personal damn problems. I thought they were dealing with a pretty interesting plot for the most part. So I think this is a pretty decent episode. I wish more episodes were more focused like this.
I gotcha.
Notes.
I love that Quark tests his plans with Cisco and Odo to see if he'll be prosecuted. I thought that was a clever way of handling that. I thought that was very realistic, and it was also very entertaining. This is commentary on the Book of Revelation as either literal or symbolic, figurative, ruled by prophecy and theocracy. Gene would have hated this. He got into huge fights with Michael Piller about this exact type of episode. And Bush McFadden and Lord Thoth, I hope you're listening because it's a great joke. The Cardassian spoon shadow, it's blue. It's very sexy. More a plot about whether to believe in the interpretations of religion, faith, and theocracy than science fiction storytelling.
No, yes.
And I just want to make sure that I let everyone know that I'm an agnostic. So it's not like I'm a religious person and I'm like offended, but I just know that this isn't what Gene Roddenberry wanted. So
yeah, I can understand that. I still don't mind, but I understand that. Yeah.
Miles, they relegate Miles to being a tea fetcher, not an expert. Okay. Admonishing Kira for being openly religious. Gene would hate this. Cisco addresses Christian belief in the Book of Revelation. It's way too on the nose. It's actually a punch in the nose. They treat Miles like a moron. Men aren't sciencey. The reversal of discrimination doesn't work for me as a modern woman.
He did disprove it, though.
He did. But that reverse discrimination, I hate that they do that.
Kardashians are idiots.
Yeah. Then we have amorous lizard lady, and she is fertile. I thought that would make everyone laugh. We have some cross-cultural misunderstanding that is quite interesting. And I just put here at the bottom with a little star behind it, this entire episode is a warning not to try and interpret the Bible. So I thought it was a little heavy-handed, and it's not my favorite.
It's my favorite one tonight.
Yeah, compared to what? Never-ending teen dating?
Yes. No, look, I do agree with him.
Myrtle is fertile.
Even if Gene wouldn't like it, I asked Gene's forgiveness because I'm like, I don't mind asking questions like this that much. And again, but I do understand. I do actually agree that they shouldn't do that kind of stuff. I mean, I can understand why he didn't want to do that, though. I really did. I really can't.
Gene didn't like that. Gene didn't like that sort of thing because remember, this gets
Right.
into the heart of Gene Roddenberry's ethos, his pathos, his logos. He wanted this Socratic dialectic. He wanted to propose an issue and then test it with evidence and all the different sides so that the audience could arrive at their own opinion. It wasn't didactic. It didn't spoon feed or over moralize or tell people. And so for me, I just think, especially as somebody who was raised in a very religious way and went to like very religious schools, I just think it's just too much on the nose. And I think that if Gene were here and he and I were having a little chit chat in the writer's room, he and I would have put a big old red X through this one and said, no, sorry.
This whole show is about that, though. The whole show from the get-go is that. So if Gene wouldn't have liked any of the setup, I mean, the absolute premise of it, not just because it's a space station, I'm not saying he wouldn't like that, but the whole thing, it being the occupation stuff, I don't think he would like that either. He wouldn't, and he wouldn't like the prophets and the emissary, any of that. He would not like any of it. This is, again, a good show. There's occasional bits of Roddenberry in there, but it's not a Roddenberry Trek show at all. Its very premise is not really Roddenberry when you boil that down to it. So
it's true.
Yeah. So the story is true to this show.
It's some easy outrage, though. The last episode, we were outraged because there was misogyny. And then and now where we've got the complete reversal of that in the Cardassians. And the thing is that they always wimp out and they don't flesh it out. And here at least they tried to do that. So I'm not quite as harsh on this one as I was on the teen dating. At least it's adults, and at least she learns her lesson. She learns
yes, she does.
Yeah. And I also thought that it was very positive the way that they embraced culture. But I just found this a very, very heavy episode about religion.
Right.
And it's just like, okay, well, if you get off on that, trying to make religious people feel bad about themselves or make them feel shaky about what they believe, okay. If that's what gets your rocks off, I guess fine. But for me, as an agnostic, I think it's just a way of upsetting people. I believe that in the old taboos that I was raised with as a kid who grew up in the 70s, if you really want to upset people, you talk about sex, religion, and politics. And you talk about it in public and you do it in a way that where it's going to upset people. And so for me, it's just,
No, gotcha. I got you, but I found it a pretty entertaining episode with all the good characters.
I agree, and
stuff,
not only do I agree, but I respect your opinion, and I love you very much.
Well, I'm actually not disagreeing at all that this is, but the whole show is this. The show
true.
It is basically thumbing its nose at all religion. The show is built, but its entire premise is based on it.
Yep.
So,
it's true. It's true. And you're calling balls and strikes. I just think sometimes it's more pronounced than others. And so sometimes it could be on the nose and sometimes it could be a punch in the nose. And this one, I think this is like this is a big punch. This is some pugilism going on here.
Yeah, I'm hear you. But I also think that everyone should, since it is fiction, I don't mind them doing fiction that just as, for example, if there was a show going the other way, a show where the characters were confirming that the belief in the religion is right. If there was a show about that was still entertaining,
just as nuts.
I would be fine with it. This show. I'm saying if there was a show that was about that, the show, the premise was that these religious themes are true.
Yes.
And it was a good show with good characters, I would be fine. So therefore, I don't mind there being a show on the other side of it either. So, although that doesn't take away from the fact that you're correct about Roddenberry wouldn't have wanted to do that.
Yeah, and I think that sometimes it's okay to wade in the water. Wade in the water. No, it's okay to wade in the water. But I think that once you get past your knee, you've gone too far. And so at the outset of DS9, you and I talked about the fact that you have to embrace the fact that this is more science fantasy and this is a lot of political commentary. There's going to be a lot of religious stuff in it, and that it's a drama. It's not primarily science fiction, it's science fantasy and this drama, right? written by people who write drama. So I think it's great that you're calling me on that. I just think sometimes they do it to a lesser degree, and I'm like, yay, science fiction, science.
I'm agnostic.
Other times,
no, go ahead.
no. Anyway.
No, I'm agnostic, so I kind of tend to fall on the side that where this episode falls, where I think a lot of things that are considered religious which should be more science than religion. That doesn't mean I believe you should make a show that disrespects religious people either. So is this show disrespecting them or just showing that this is our opinion? For example, if it were the other way around, if I were deeply devoutly religious, I could still watch this episode, not agree with what these people believe fundamentally, and still find it an intriguing story. And in the context of that fiction, it went that way. It doesn't mean I believe that in my everyday life, so I can separate it and still enjoy the story.
I gotcha.
Even though, but again, your point is still the most important point is that Roddenberry would not want Star Trek to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So it
has to be concealed more than this. It has to be concealed in some type of Socratic dialectic. It must make a thesis statement.
Yes.
The aliens must make a thesis statement. And then it is to be tried with the idealized view of this futuristic federation of edified people so that we can aspire to be a better society and a better version of ourselves tomorrow. And yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Since Roddenberry, that's the way Roddenberry would have wanted it. That's the way it should be.
Yep.
So I'm with you. But this were not called Star Trek. I wouldn't care that it expresses this opinion.
I got you, boss.
I do believe it. I can understand dinging it for that because it is.
I got to ding it. But then
the show's never. But the show's you got to ding the whole show because the show's never been adherence to Roddenberry's wishes.
Yeah, but regard. I don't want to take a baseball bat to the fender or the windshield. But I am here to kick the tires.
I got you. So anyway, what is your rating of Destiny?
C+. It's just a C+.
C+. Okie dokie. I gave it a B-.
I got you.
Be pretty intriguing.
Oh, we're very close.
Very close as always. So, all right, everybody. What is your please give us your ratings and any words you may have about Destiny, my friends. We will star them and read them because it's the kind of way we roll around here.
Tell me what you thought of Destiny. Yeah.
Let's sail into history.
Yes. And don't hold back.
Let's sail into history. Destiny. I am your density. What?
I am for
Destiny.
you. I am for you. Oracle Vault.
So the density. I'm your density. That's our second Back to the Future reference of the night. Well, Kidokali-ishness. All right, what do we got going on up in here, folks? Let's get those reviews going.
We have Hungry Boy out the gate first before anyone else.
Okay.
And then we have Michael Beacom.
Michael Carney.
Shooter.
Michael Carney says A+. Great acting, great drama. Tracy Scoggins is hot, and the plus is for her boobs. Well, you can't go wrong there. I met Tracy at Dragon Con one year, Michael, and she was an absolute delight. Talked to her for a little while. It was so much fun. A buddy of mine, and I, it's kind of a sort of a story. A buddy of mine, we talked to her like a good while one day, then we talked to her again the next day a little bit, I think. And then, I don't know what, it's the weirdest thing. He bumped into her at, this was at Atlanta. And then a couple of years later, it had to be 2 or 3 years maybe, he said he bumped into her at a casino or somewhere like in Las Vegas. And she remembered him. And then she said, she asked about you, your friend. I said, come on now. No, she didn't. He said, I'm telling you, man. She did. And so
some of them are like that. Some famous people are like that.
She's just a sweetheart. So, yeah. I can't imagine that she would. Maybe she just remembered she met a friend. So you had a friend with you. How's it? But anyway, the point being is she remembered him, and she's just a sweetie.
Yep.
I love Tracy.
Yeah,
and she's beautiful.
Beautiful, charming, great actress.
Indeedishness.
Heck of a rack.
Boy. Yeah, that helps. She was a model back in the 80s, So let's see here. Man, she did a good job as captain in the 5th season of
she did.
Babylon 5.
She was amazing as the captain in Babylon 5.
Indeedishness, which is better than this show, according to certain friends. Hungry for when a dabby to muzzle it, says mixed bag of nuts. Gilora, was it Gilora? Mm-hmm. Gilora salivating over O'Brien till you expected to see Cardassian drool on her. uniform was magic, as was the sociological rift between her and Deshar. But, hang on. By now, the ST attitude towards metaphysically based cultures has become as old as the lust crust on Riker's undies. Whoa.
This is such a great review. I'm right there with you, Hungry Boy.
There's no flesh left on this dead horse's skeleton to flog, writers. Well done, sir. Hungry Boy bringing it as always. Michael Beacom says, C+. Destiny, no escaping, not for me. Frankenstein, not Frankenstein. Well done. Wow. Bringing the Shelley, right?
He is.
I like that they discuss the prophecy. Might be information. The prophecy might be information given by nonlinear aliens to Bajorans before it happened. Yeah, that was interesting. Let's see here. Am I wrong to want to see Miles with Galora instead of Keiko? No, I don't think so. And he probably wanted that too. Let's be honest. Miles being followed by a spoon shadow. Spoon shadow. Again with the spoon shadow song. You know I had to sing it. Sorry, everybody. I apologize.
Boosh has some great comments too.
Apologize for my terrible singing.
No, I love
page 210. It is revealed that this was originally a second season episode that they couldn't quite crack before, but took a second shot at it. Nice try, but still needed some work. Sure. And absolutely it's just Fabio 100 says B. I like this episode more so because I like O'Brien episodes. He is one of my favorite characters in DS9. Well, he's probably my favorite. I mean, but yeah. So I'm right there with you, Fabio. He's great.
Mark's yelling spoon.
Spoon. That's a
Mark. It would be okay with Mark if he was the big spoon or the little spoon.
That's a reference to the character called the Tick. It's a comic book and cartoon character. His battle cry is spoon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, we love it, and I love the bigoted phrase spoonheads. The racial slur. Can we be racist against fictional characters? Is that okay?
Yes, of course you can.
I mean, fictional racist. So, for example, I'm racist against Ewoks, everybody. I fully admit my racism there.
I hate Ewoks.
I hate Ewoks. Now some fans of Ewoks are going to get mad and protest us.
Oh, whatever.
You haters. You bigots.
Look, I'm a gatekeeper, okay? I have a big old sharp pointy gate all the way around everything I like.
I'm racist against Gungans, too. But only because of Jar Jar Binks. So maybe it's just him. Boss Nass is cool. Oh, man, I just ruined my racism against Gundams. I guess I just only dislike one of them. See? Racism is useless. But I can't think of any Ewok I like. So there.
Ewoks suck.
Oh, they're teddy bears. Anyway, Care Bears. B+ for Shooter. Shooter says, B+, this one is a bit of fun. That's the thing about prophecy. Interpretations are not always accurate, and they are assigned to an event that fits the details. Let's see here. Miles and Gilora's misinterpretation of each other is both humorous and shows more depth shown to the differences in species that is often left as human norm. Let's see here. This episode also brings Sisko closer to accepting his role of emissary. I didn't see much wrong with the episode. Thank you, Shooter. The wonderful anti-derivative Gillard, Chief of Communications. It says B. Even though Sisko isn't convinced of the prophecy, that he respects the Vedek's right to stay and doesn't put him down, showing his adeptness at diplomacy, as does O'Brien with the scientist.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fair call. Since Kira puts professionalism first, this is the first time she admits she believes he's the emissary. But Dax has a better view on the prophecies. Either make your own decisions or let them. Yes.
Yeah, she does give him great advice, doesn't she?
Indeed is. Yeah, absolutely. The prophets relay messages and metaphors that would make a Tamarian blush, leaving room for misinterpretation by everyone, which happens often, making the prophecies essentially worthless. Thank you so much, Jill. Well done as
That's a
always.
very
my
good
dear.
review.
Always great.
You
Kal-El,
big nerd. That was
You
such
big
a great
nerd,
review.
you?
I love you.
Yeah. Well done. Our buddy Kal-El says A-. This episode explores some interesting themes, in particular, religious prophecy and the many possible interpretations, and how that can influence the actions of both believers. Of both believers and non-believers alike. We also get to see Cisco walk the line between the station commander and Bajoran religious icon and actually handle it as well as anyone in his position could. I also liked how Yarka conceded to Cisco that his own distrust for the Cardassians blinded him to the prophets. To the prophet's words, and how Cisco respectfully asked to learn more when he was told about another Bajoran prophecy. Overall, an enjoyable episode of the season, as well as the series overall. Thank you, Stephen.
Nice job.
Appreciate you, buddy. Pleasant Valley Picker says, C+. A lot of fun Grand cassette dress. That's not the episode we're on yet, dude. Let's see. No, that's not the episode we're on yet. So we'll get that. Save that. I'll save it, but we'll do that episode when we get to the next one. You were talking about profit motive. I don't know how he wrote that one first. So we'll get to that later. Let's see here. Best part. Okay, C+ says, plus about the best part was the charming Cardassian ladies. I never thought I'd be attracted to a Cardi, but these gals were charming. A Cardi. Hang on. Dinner, dancing, and a bit of frisky frolicking, perhaps, ladies. The sexual tension with Miles was funny and most enjoyable. Still overall, another not a great one. Okay. Thank you, Pleasant Valley Picker. Appreciate you. We'll save your other one for later. We'll get to the next episode. Boosh McFadden says,
Boosh.
B for me. I like the mesh and dichotomy of science and religion, and Clobby is right. Would totally lick that spoon. Whoa.
That's a great comment.
It is.
That is a super funny comment.
Thank you.
And then you have this idea in your mind of making pudding and taking it out. That's great. That's a great comment. I thought that was super funny.
Wolfie says B-. I like the idea of using a multiplexed subspace signal through the wormhole. Was akin to manipulating naturally occurring background radiation, RF radio, to get communication going. Well done, as always, our science officer, Wolfie.
Mm-hmm.
Enigmatic drop bear.
You dyke bear.
B-. The Cardassian scientists were excellent, as was tying in Obsidian Order's Obsidian Order's shenanigans. However, the episode tried to cover a lot of ground and ended up incohesive and lacking focus. Let's see here. It was heavy-handed in the way it pitted Bajoran apocalyptic prophecies against newly minted Bajoran Cardassian peace with Kira's faith and her DS9 role with Cisco's role as emissary.
Very nice. Very nice comments.
The religious iconography was subtle,
unsubtle.
Was unsubtle. My bad. Sorry.
That's okay.
Not particularly well construed, nor effectively woven into the story.
Yes.
The story's anchor, though, through wormhole communications, was interesting and helped to redeem this episode.
What an amazing review.
Lastly, when your circumstances are dire in the vastness of space, never despair. You can always magic up a subspace bubble to protect you in the universe from any imminent catastrophe. Yes, that old bubble thingy.
You can also transport an entire universe.
Shooter says Ewok lives matter.
Oh, no, it gets better.
I would respectfully disagree.
And Chris Persia, I love blueberry jam, but when I want to lick the spoon, it's gotta be pudding. Pudding.
Chris Burge says, Clive, why do you hate Ewoks? I've heard they taste nice, slow roasted over an open fire. Well,
Love it,
I haven't.
love it.
I wouldn't mind trying them that way.
Ewoks and barbecue sauce.
But I guess I was just disappointed that we didn't get an Ewok body count in that movie. Booster said Ewoks don't suck; they're delicious. There you go. I don't see any more reviews. I don't know if our Caboose reviews here yet. No, Mark D must be busy or something. Or he must love the episode so much he can't put it into words.
So far. That was it so far.
That's all we got for the reviews there, buddies. So, well, if he wants to combine it with the next one, we'll move on to the next episode if he's busy.
Let's do it.
Mark D, maybe he's tired. Maybe he's asleep. That's okay.
Are you a sweepy? No, here comes. Got it?
He's coming. We'll always wait for you, brother. You know that. B- loses points because of the way they treated Miles. Men can be engineers too. Well, I don't expect Trek to be like touched by an angel.
Yes.
Oops. What am I doing? DS9 plots are too intertwined with the debate of science versus religion. Yes. Did Tracor predict the $1 billion Powerball? Yes, I think he did. No. I need to get some more of his almanacs. Tracor. Stunt Brad is here. Oh my goodness.
Stunt Brad! Hey,
What?
Chicky Boo. Nice to see you, girl.
What is up? It is always just an honor to have you here. Let's see here. What this episode really needed was Keiko to show up and say, "Oh, Miles, don't fall for the Kardashian." Yeah.
I like that he said that he didn't expect the episode to be touched by an angel. I just want to ask you, Mark D with a C, did you expect it to be touched by an angel one?
Ooh.
Sorry.
Well done. Okay. So what you're all saying is basically Raquel has brought this on herself and deserves this. All right, well, we'll get on to our final episode of the evening.
We should.
Are we ready?
It's time to get some motive.
All right. While we'll do this, I need to go take some medicine. So you take the con.
You got it, boss.
And I shall
Profit
return.
motive.
Go for it.
Season 3, Episode 16, Prod Code 462. We all watched this for the very first time on February 20th, 1995. And now I'm going to read from the plot, the summary provided by the fine folks at Wikipedia, the user-generated encyclopedia. Okay, let's do this. Gran Negus Zek, the financial leader of the Ferengi race and Quark's idol, arrives on the station and shows Quark and Rom his new project. He has rewritten the rules of acquisition, the sacred business proverbs by which the Ferengi live. In the new book, Zek discourages Ferengi everywhere to renounce selfishness and greed and become kind and giving. Zek now wants to lead a life of altruism and wants Quark and Rom to run his charitable foundation. This horrifies Quark because profiteering lies at the heart of Ferengi identity, and the Grand Negus is supposed to be the paragon. Quark warns Rom that other Ferengi will violently depose the Negus if he tries to change the Ferengi way of life. Dr. Bashir can find no sign of mental illness or physical illness in Zek, and his uncharacteristic behavior does not appear to be a ruse. Wanting answers, Quark and Rom break into Zek's shuttle and discover an orb of the prophets, which Zek is planning to give to the Bajorans. When Quark is exposed to the orb, he has a vision in which Zek describes the new rules of acquisition as a, quote, gift. Quark deduces that Zek visited the wormhole and contacted the prophets so that he could use their knowledge for the future for profit, and that they are responsible for Zek's transformation. Quark forcibly takes Zek back to the wormhole to ask the prophets what they did to him. The prophets, being immaterial creatures who do not experience time linear time, found Zek's obsession with accumulation of material wealth to be strange and adversarial. They devolved him to a more primitive state, resembling the less greedy ancestors of the Ferengi. They threatened to devolve Quark as well, but Quark warns them that if he is also changed, more curious Ferengi will visit the wormhole looking for answers. Because the prophets like their privacy and find the Ferengi annoying, like we all do, they release Quark and restore Zek to normal. Zek dismantles his charitable foundation and has all the copies of the new rules of acquisition destroyed. After Zek leaves, Rom confides that he embezzled money from Zek's foundation, which delights and impresses Quark. The subplot involves Bashir being nominated for a medical award, which he ends up not winning. Bashir feigns nonchalance, but inside he is seething. So I would throw it over to my captain, but I don't really want to hear from my captain first. I would actually like to hear from little Zeki. Zeki, what'd you think of this episode, little Zeki?
Well, you know, my problem with this episode was they didn't have me the entire time. They kept going to Bashir for some reason. It's still a great, entertaining, was very fun episode, which was inconceivable. Quark, no profit. This episode has no profit in it whatsoever for me, but I still like it a lot.
Oh, sorry. I don't know. He doesn't want to talk anymore because there's no profit in it. Yes, he just told me. And sorry, my throat was messed up, so I couldn't do a good one there.
That's okay.
I think this episode is a lot of fun and very fun. I mean, if you're gonna look, if you can't just tell us an intriguing science fiction story, do a fun comedy, I guess, to break the monotony. Ferengis are always funny. This is one of the funniest Ferengi episodes.
Quark, I'm gonna give everything away, and you're not gonna do anything about it because I'm a much better Ferengi now.
And I'm just
love it. This
is a really well written, fun episode. In the end, when Quark meets with the prophets and deals with them, it's one of the most brilliant things I've seen in a while, where he could basically wins the day by convincing them we're just going to come and irritate you more. Yep. And the whole way he solves this is like, if you don't want us to come be annoying, just fix him, turn him back. And the prophets are like, I love that. The prophets are just like, well, you know,
it's beautiful. It's great. And you know, it's really funny about this is that it's done the TOS way. So this isn't like some script person wrote this. And that's usually how the sucky episodes go. It's how modern television is written. This was written the old school way. And for some reason, the person who wrote the story has never been credited. He's uncredited. His name is William N. Stape or Stepp. However,
and he didn't even profit from it? Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, so he wrote the story, and then they turned it into a teleplay. So this is why you see the quality in the writing, because there's nothing visual to distract you from the holes in the story. Somebody sat down. This lovely person named William N. Stape sat down and wrote this lovely story, and it's hysterical and it's great.
This was Quark's Kirk speech. This
yeah,
you know, Kirk. You know, when Kirk just basically gives the Kirk speech that saves the day, that puts it over. You know, that puts them over the top, that wins the day for the. This was Quark having his version of a Kirk speech with the prophets, and
yeah, I don't know why they had that Bashir subplot, but that's okay.
It's true. It was
fine. I don't mind it. I'm just saying. I was kidding.
Yeah, and they don't spend too much time on it, so I don't mind.
Yeah, it's all right. But it was okay. I mean, again, it does show a certain thing that we've been talking about, how you get a fun story like this and you don't have enough to fill things up, so you come up with this. It's still not my druthers, but that's okay. It's a very entertaining, very hilarious episode. And like I said, it really had you going, what the hell's wrong with him? And then when he goes to I guess it's funny already. When it gets to the bit with the Quark with the prophets, that scene is fantastic. It was so well done. And so, I mean, here he is with these very serious beings that don't experience linear time. And even they're like, man, Ferengi are freaking annoying.
Yeah.
That was classic. It was really
and they
clever.
realize that like you can't reason with them. They have no reason. And I also think that the performance by Tim Ron as Mayhardu was just simply outstanding. And we know that this is coming from our Queen's valet. That's the idea of where Mayhardu comes from. But wow, what is it? Tiny Ron? Is it Tiny Ron? Tim Ron?
Tiny Ron, yes.
Whatever the guy's name is. Unbelievably good. Unbelievably good.
Yes, that was again that he helped them and so and again it's always great to see Zek, to see the great
I
Wallace
love
Shawn.
Yep.
Wallace Shawn is just fantastic and everything.
Wallace Shawn is amazing, and this is how you deal with greed. This is how you address greed. You don't address it in a way in which you're going to talk to the audience like they're 12-year-old kids and admonish them and say, oh, these are the basket of deplorables that you shouldn't like. This is how you deal with it. And if you can't do it in a serious way and you don't know how, doing it in a comedy, there's always room for comedy in Star Trek if it's well wrought. And in this case, it is most certainly well wrought because it is done the TOS way. Somebody sat down, wrote a short story, and then it got turned into a teleplay. And what do we have? Gold.
It was also one of the great scenes was the whole bit was very clever of the rules of acquisition being turned around. All they had to do, if you just turn them on their head, you get the reverse, and it's fantastic. Yeah, that was also one of the cleverest bits. It was really funny.
Minimus is here. Minimus.
So yeah, all in all, just such an entertaining episode.
Yep, it's great. Absolutely great. I really enjoyed it.
It's funny how the Ferengi were such a joke on TNG, and then on this on DS9 they've had some really funny episodes, and there are more to come. So, all right, everybody. Well, hey, Stop Breath says what? Oh, no power in little. Oh, they got you no power. Are you in a bad weather area? I know they have some bad weather in certain areas there, Stunt Brat. So I hope you're okay. Oh man, good luck with that. Hopefully, hope you get your power back.
Be safe, sweetheart. So I'll do my notes really quickly then.
Oh, okay, I forgot. Oh, we didn't do notes yet. Okay,
Mayhardu is amazing. The Tiny Ron or Tim Ron or whatever his name is, I think he's amazing in this. This person has definitely worked in stage. I don't know anything about this person as an actor, but what an outstanding performance here. He just ratchets up the comedy to like 110%. It's just glorious. And then I put comedy episode for Ferengi and for Miles and Julian. We see some good stuff with Miles and Julian.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Michelle.
And we have two plots. We have Bashir's Award, and then we have Zeki and the Prophets. These are interpersonal stories, the total reformation of a culture, and it is handled beautifully.
Good night, Chris.
Are you leaving, honey?
Good night, buddy. Clobber on, buddy. Honey. Thank you, the great Vindicator Wrench, Chris. Thank you, buddy.
And thank you for everything today. Thank you for the beautiful show poster and for calling us out all over on your socials. I love you, Chris. And thank you for wrenching and for all your help and all your support. I adore you. Mwah, mwah.
Indeed.
I love Zeki. I put with a huge exclamation point. This offers us some great Ferengi history to know that their greed was something that they cultivated, that they were previously less greedy.
Yeah.
And I think Gene Roddenberry would have loved this episode. In fact, with all the study that I have on Gene, I can confidently say he would love this episode because of the B story. Not only was the A story very well developed, but I found it incredibly lovely. It was so ridiculously lovely. It was a very TOS moment when everyone was standing around the teleprompter, whatever you want to call it, the view screen, the broadcast screen, and they were cheering Julian on. And they were genuinely complaining that somebody else won instead of him. This was such a great morale booster. It showed what Gene was saying about how these were astronauts who trained together, who lived together. These are professional military people, and so they care for one another. They're like a family. So I thought it was wonderful to see finally on DS9 people behaving as professional friends and colleagues in a way in which honors Gene Roddenberry's memory by giving us that thing that Gene Roddenberry wanted us to see. So we had hope. So for me, this one is it's a gooder. This is a good episode. And that's all that's in my notes, boss.
Thank you so much. By the way, good night, Wolfie. Thank you for being here. And we got apparently this was, I don't know if this just came up or I'm just now seeing it, but Mark D with the C sends us something. Said Cardinal Sin, member 2 months, member 3 months, Clobberin level. Oh, he did I think it's a member chat. He said, hail Clobby and Raquel and chat and mods. Must be a member chat because I couldn't see it. Hail to you, great Cardinal Sin. Appreciate you, buddy.
Yeah, we love you, Cardi.
So what is your rating of Profit Motive?
So I think that the first, the A plot, the primary story, yeah, I think it's an A minus, but the B story makes it a full A for me because of the fact that we finally got to see some of Gene Roddenberry's ethos here. I thought that the ending performance with them all going, oh, how could they vote for him instead of Julian? And they all seemed genuinely disgusted, as though they were disappointed for their friend. And this was finally a TOS moment where we could see them behaving the way that Gene would want them. So for me, the fact that the A plot is so good, the primary plot, it's definitely an A minus, but it puts it to an A for me once you start bringing in Gene Roddenberry's ideas and seeing them behave so professionally and like professional colleagues who cared about one another. Wow. I was like, yes, yes, yes. So it's an A. It's an A.
I give it an A as well. I love it. It was a lot of fun. Top-notch entertaining episode that really gets better and better as it goes along. So, and thank you for those lovely words, Michelle. You're too kind.
Oh, it's very kind of you, sweetie.
Yes, you were sweet. I'm going to hope you're having a wonderful night, my dear. So, our friends, okay, for the final episode of the evening, please feel free to give your ratings and any reviews, any words you may have about Profit Motive. And we will star those and get a move on.
I will do that now.
There we go. I'll start them. We'll start them now. I'll start reading these now that we're getting them. Pleasant Valley Picker, who said had earlier left a review here, but he says C+. A lot of fun. Grand Nagus Zek changing the rules drastically was hilarious. Poor Quark. The scene with the prophets was a highlight as we gain insight into their viewpoint on corporeal beings. Agreed, sir.
He also, Pleasant Valley Picker also says, it's nice to hear an A. I just want to make sure that you understand, Pleasant Valley Picker, that we only give an A when it deserves it. It's not like the crowd votes on it for us. And in fact, Clobby and I, we think that we would be behaving inauthentically. We would in essence be lying if we just waited to hear what you all thought and then we just told you what you wanted to hear. We're here to stir the pot, because if you don't stir the pot, it sticks to the bottom and burns. So you're only going to, like Clobby always says, we call balls and strikes here. And this episode truly earns it, but not every episode does. And it's not based on a democracy. It's based on how we actually feel.
Wait a minute. What is this one that got put in later? I thought I read all of Mark D's last review. It says 3 of 3. I thought I read his other ones earlier. It says, I think he's referring to the previous episode. What this episode really needed was Keiko to show up and say, "Oh, Miles, don't fall for the Kardashian." But what was? I thought I read all of his.
I thought he already said that.
Yeah,
Anyways,
I
it could just
maybe
be
I left it there from earlier, but I don't think I did. I guess I must have. Okay, sorry. I don't remember ever reading that one, but I'm an idiot. So anyway, Midnight's Oblivion says, "Dude, I'm A- on this one, just sheer fun and profit."
It's great, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Midnight's Oblivion.
It is indeed. Wolfie, who had the run, shout out to Wolfie, said A-. Great episode. Night, everyone. Good night, Wolfie.
Night, Wolfie.
Kal-El, buddy, the super one himself, Stephen M. says A+. This was a fun episode. I particularly enjoyed how out of character Zek was acting and what and what Quark ultimately had to do to resolve the situation.
So
there
good.
was lots of humor throughout.
Yes.
Let me see. Yep.
And the juicy kind of humor where it is
Very
insulting their cultural practices, but in a way where I don't know, it's done so well. It's
It's so well done.
respectfully, it's very respectful of the viewer. I just love it.
Yep. From the initial reactions to the revised rules of acquisition, that was hilarious, to the creation of the Ferengi Benevolent Association, that was also hilarious. Oh, God. And by the way, Rom was terrific. Rom is really becoming a better character just the past couple of months.
Very strong.
This is where
actor.
he starts to change. Oh yeah. Max Grogenek, or however you say it. The best part had to do with the fact that the prophets agreed with. Hang on. Quark. Sorry. Quark at the end, and the implication that they too didn't want any further interactions with the Ferengi. Very enjoyable episode with some interesting insights into Ferengi social norms. Yes, sir. Highly
and
agree.
their history. Like they got gradually greedier.
Ferengis
They got
are a
more
bunch
and more greedy as time went on.
They are annoying. Enigmatic Drop Bear says, B+. Grand Negus Sec.
Revising the rules of acquisition for the modern Ferengi, inconceivable.
Enigmatic Drop Bear, I love you.
There's not much to say about this sitcom style episode. It was an enjoyable, well acted, harmless but silliness.
Yes.
Are you calling me silly? There's no profit in you calling me that, Enigmatic Drop Bear. Were the writers taking a stab at TNG's were the writers? I'm sorry, I can't read because I'm a Ferengi. Taking a stab at TNG's numerous award nominations by using Bashir in the role of DS9 nomination for the Carrington Award. Also, the bridesmaid never...
Always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Never the bride. Sorry, I tried.
That was so
keep it up.
good. I love your impression and Enigmatic Drop Bear. Thought-provoking. Hey, Rod Thunderheart's here. Hello, Alberta.
Hey, Rod Thunderheart. Sorry. I'm sorry I mangled your review like that, ED. I just could, I'm sorry.
No, it was great. It was beautiful.
Man.
And everyone loves your impressions. Some of the voices you do are so spot on. And Zeki is one of them. Oh, little Zeki.
Little Zeki. Thank you so much, ED, for that review.
That was terrific.
Hungry boy. Thank you. Says
A+++.
No, I'm sorry. We start with the hubbyist of hubbas. Oh yeah, the
hubbyist of hubbas.
And swing straight. Oh yeah, okay. You're talking about the opening scene with the Umox with the lady. Yes, yeah, she was something. And swing straight into the comedic haha. All of that we love in rollicking 1930s films right here, right off the bat. Says Hungry boy. Let me find your next one, sir. Okay, there we go. The Mr. Quark goes to Washington scene with the prophets was sharp. Quark was gutsy and quick. What happened?
I'm sorry. I knew that was going to happen. It's the stupid chat jumped again. So when I went to go click on the star, it put it up on the screen instead. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right. I got to find the other one.
I hate it when it does that. And it's done it like 3 times tonight.
Okay, no problem. We'll live. We'll live.
Sorry,
the Mr. Quark, don't worry about it. The Mr. Quark goes to Washington scene with the prophets was sharp. Quark was gutsy and quick on his feet. Fab to see Hollywood writers being fair to capitalists.
Yes.
Well, not very fair, but they still make them annoying. WGA, even though they are capitalist, strikes for more moolah law. Yes.
I like capitalism.
I love it. None of us would be here without it.
That's right.
And we get to hang out because of it. Shooter says, B+. The Negus is no longer greedy.
Inconceivable.
The A story is goofy fun. Ending is better, linking to Zek's attempt to use the profits for profit.
Can I just say, like, these reviews are setting Clubby up to use his voice and do his impressions. Can I just say how clever I think you all are and how much I love you? I love your reviews. These conversations, they make my week. I love each and every one of you. Thank you so much for this, like, just awesome display. I love it.
They're excellent, of course. She says, so the prophets can de-evolve, alter someone. Well, they are prophets. I mean, they can do all. I guess they can, buddy. With their ability to see the future, they should have been able to prevent threats to themselves. Bajor. It doesn't really fit. Makes sense. Wasn't engaged with the B story. Some humor, but a pure filler. Yeah,
I gotcha. I respect that.
No, I'm with you. I hear you. Michael Beacom says C+. Rene Aubergenois Rene Aubergenois directorial debut. I didn't realize it was his debut of a director. I didn't know he directed it. I need to look better. No, okay. Page 213. They picked this one so Rene could work with familiar actors he liked, Shimmerman and Grodenchik. With lighter fare.
Interesting.
Let's see here. Page 215. The B story was a Trek-in joke with how they knew TNG would never get an Emmy in its final year. I gotcha. Yeah. I gotcha. I like this final year sucked, but anyway. I like the making of stories as much as the actual episode. Nice job, Renee.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. Rene Aubergenois, nicely done, sir. The wonderful anti-derivative Jill, our chief of communications, says, A-. Quark shows how adept he is at diplomacy with the prophets. Stop de-evolving Ferengi, or you will have to see. Well, let's do it the right way.
Stop de-evolving Ferengi, or you will have to see a lot more of us. Just a fun one. I wish William had gotten his story by credit.
Yes. Love you, Jill. Love you, Jill. So true, so true.
Fabio says, B+. Like some people already said, a funny, well-done episode made me smile when I saw it the first time. Thank you, Fabio. Appreciate you. Bush McFadden says, Quark's reactions to Zek's behavior are gold. Armin totally owns that character. And Wallace Shawn is so great as Zek. This is a standout episode. Lots of fun. Hard to dislike a Ferengi. An A, gives it an A. Hard to dislike a Ferengi plotline. Yeah, the Ferengi had a lot of fun episodes.
Yeah.
And our final review of the evening, folks.
So I was just doing that for Bush.
The chief engineer. You can pop in whenever you feel like it there, chief engineer. If you're up to it, if you're not feeling well, don't worry about it, brother. But if you feel like it.
Well, I hope he's feeling better. I hate that he got sick. Poor guy.
He'll tell us if he shows up. I mean, if you're not, just let us know if you are.
No pressure, sweetie, but we love your company. So hop on in when you're ready.
Mark D with a C gives it A.
Inconceivable how funny this scene is with Quark and the prophets. Quark is to socialists as Kirk is to intelligent machines. Quark has one of the best lines in Trek.
Nice.
Mark.
Our ambition to improve ourselves, motives everything we do. Motivates everything we do. Sorry. Without ambition, without, dare I say, greed, people would lie around all day and do nothing. Quark said that. My friend Quark. He's going to be Grand Naga someday. They wouldn't work. They wouldn't bathe. They wouldn't even eat. They'd starve to death. That's the weirdo prophets, and we'll stay here and bother you for the rest of eternity unless you fix me back.
Stunt Brat hates the dark. And I hope you didn't watch anything scary. I hate it
Oh,
when
don't
you
watch
watch
scary
things
stuff.
that are
Well, she said
scary.
there's no power, so you
I
can't watch anything scary.
know. I don't
So
want you
sorry,
to be
Stunt Brat.
scared, honey. I love you. I'm
Sorry,
here.
On the
We're all
Cali
here.
Coast. The Cali Coast. You haven't. This is some weather problems or some
Maybe. Yep.
whatever it is there, my dear. I'm
Love
so
you,
sorry to
honey.
hear that.
We're here, baby girl.
That wraps it up for our
That's it.
episodes of the evening. Since you didn't add yourself, I'll add you myself. Not.
You
So I
did
knew
it
that
at
was
the
gonna
same
happen.
time.
What's up, dude?
Oh, that made me feel better. That was hysterical.
Oh, your voice
What's
is so
happening?
much better. How you feeling?
Better, but I think I got an ear infection now. So,
Oh, no.
Lordy.
but at least I don't have big lobes. So,
Yeah.
You don't have the lobes for it.
Will Maureen give you some Umox?
she just tells me, "Go to the doctor. Don't complain."
Yeah. Feeling any better? I mean, just a little bit.
Yeah, I do feel better, but I'm still not. This is minor, but I'm still not 100%. But
Okay,
I was
Stunt
outside
Brat.
raking leaves, so I'll live. Yep.
She has to save her phone power. So if you okay, well,
Okay,
that
we'll
means you're
go.
running. Yeah, save your power.
Yeah.
And lovely to see you pop in.
We'll see you soon, honey.
Good luck.
Yes. Good
Thank
luck.
you
Be
for
safe.
stopping in. We love you. Bye.
I don't know if they're having them weather out there. What's going on?
Well, who knows with
Hugs,
power
hugs,
these
indeed.
days, right? It's
Yeah.
not so stable.
Yeah. Well. What's going on? So you feeling a little bit better then, huh? That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah. It was a fun night tonight. Yeah. So
Thanks. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
one thing I forgot to mention with the episode with Kira getting walled up, I was thinking Edgar Allan Poe.
Yes, the cask of Amontillado.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking of that after. Yeah, I forgot
But
to
she
mention
wasn't
that.
drunk.
But she wasn't drunk. Yeah, and Poe did a lot
We
better.
could we could immure her in a wall.
You know, there's a movie coming out. This has Edgar Allan Poe in it. It's about some kind of
his life story, or it's
no. It's a fictional story where someone meets him. I think Christian Bale in it. Yeah, something coming up. I heard something about it last night. I think
interesting. Yeah,
something where it's some kind of detective type story where he's in it or something.
I mean, I reading those short stories as a kid. I mean, talk about not sleeping after reading that story, getting walled
I
up
loved them.
brick by brick. I know,
They're my
but
bread
it's so
and butter.
disturbing. Oh,
I know.
so well done. But that's why it was so good, right? Because it was so well written. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're gonna talk about your cosplay tonight at all, Raquel? Or
Well, if Clovey wants to show
I
it,
can definitely show it if you want to see it, and show it again. Does everyone want to see that?
do you guys want to
Yeah.
see me? Okay. So if you don't know what this is about,
Let us know, everybody.
we were talking about Catwoman, and as you all know, I'm a nerd, not a geek, and the guys have been teaching me about geek stuff, and we all had a big conversation about who was the best Catwoman, and Clobby loved Julie Newmar. So
Oh yeah.
I
doesn't?
behind the scenes put together a Julie Newmar effort, and so I did this video to document my cosplay because I haven't been able to because of the stupid vid, because we weren't allowed to have cons. And so this is dedicated to Julie Newmar, and I did it for Clobby. So this one's for Clobby.
All right, everybody. This is a video. Let me get to it. Sorry, let me get to it. I'll find it first. Where'd I put it? Oh, here we go. All right, everyone. Raquel as Catwoman. Enjoy, my friends. Yay!
Very cool. Very cool.
Thank you, everyone.
Wonderful. Beautiful.
Thank you for
look
all
so
of your amazing
amazing.
comments. Thank you so much. I'm glad you
Beautiful.
liked it.
Oh my goodness.
And Catspaw from Star Trek too, right? And could be the cat lady, right? From Star Trek, right?
No,
Just
she's
kidding.
Catwoman. Our old,
Catwoman, yeah.
or as Adam West said it, our old arch nemesis, Catwoman. The way he says it's perfect.
And look what I got. I got a Raquel action figure.
Oh my!
Yay!
Hang on. Let's look. Raquel is an action figure.
You guys are great.
Nice.
That-
That's
and
new.
just-
That's recent. I need to
That's
get that one.
recent. Yeah, that's the new McFarlane. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, Eric K, you're too kind, buddy. Very generous of you. Thank you so much for the $20
Aw.
super chat, buddy. Says Raquel, wow, meow, beautiful. That
Oh,
she
you
is.
means
Oh, yeah.
so much to me. It means so much to me. Thank you so much, everyone. I
Thank
love
you,
you guys
Eric.
so much.
You're too kind, buddy. Did they do all three?
Sorry.
They didn't do.
I'm not sure if they did.
they didn't
I
do,
should know
Lee
that.
Merriweather? That
I
is
don't know
supposed to
if
be the
they
Julie Newmar one, right?
That's
Or-
Julie Newmar, right? Yeah,
or
that's
she's
Julie
supposed to
Newmar.
be considered to be both of them, really.
You know, but well, wasn't there a casting or one of was it Lee couldn't do the movie or?
Yeah,
or no, it was
what happened was Julie Newmar couldn't do. She was cast in the show, but she couldn't do the movie because she was making a movie called McKenna's Gold. So they got the wonderful Lee Merriweather, who played her in. While the show was going on, they made that theatrical movie with the 4 villains in it called Batman, just Batman, in '66. While the show was going on, they had the theatrical movie, and Lee Merriweather played her in that. So because of that, yeah. So.
And
Nice.
I know who that is because
Eartha
I'm
Kitt,
learning
yeah.
from my geek friends. That is Eartha Kitt.
Yep, she played her in the 3rd season. She played Catwoman.
Yeah.
Actually, Julie Newmar said they never asked her to be in the movie. She said she could have done it.
What she could have
She's
done.
actually said that later.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's true.
It was so fun to cosplay her. And it was I was a little nervous to do it because I wanted to make sure I got everything authentic. So my jewelry and belt and stuff, it's licensed as the original, the classic TV series Batman. The jewelry and stuff. I think I already told Mark about that I had ordered it and make
You'd
sure
ordered it,
that
right? Yep.
yeah, so I was a little frightened at first, and even making the video, I thought I better make sure I get my research done because if I use the wrong bat symbol and I don't want to mess this up. So so I had to put some work in it, but I wanted to do it for
Oh, it
Chloe.
looked great.
I thought he would
I
like
love
it.
it.
And I am still going to do Dream Girl for Lord Thoth and for Clubby. I did get the boots made, and I love them and they're perfect. But I'm having a hard time a post vid trying to get the mirrored bodysuit that like it
That's
actually
a tough
made.
costume to do. Yeah.
It is because the basically it's like automotive quality mirroring that's needed in the fabric. And so I've been looking around trying to find the right gauge of it. It has to be
it's a
thin
tough one.
enough that I can wear it and it shows the shape of my body, but it can't be so thin that it cannot be turned completely mirror. So I'm struggling with it, but I will tell you this. I have the boots,
Nice.
the fully
some-
mirrored boots.
Some serious boots there. All right, Michael. Beacom, have a good one. We're not too far behind you, buddy. But thank you for being with us tonight. Really
Good
appreciate
night, Michael.
Be
Okay, I
seeing
need to-
you.
Yeah, be
Restless
seeing
legs.
you. And tell
Restless-
Cassandra I said good night too.
Good night to Cassandra. Yeah.
Thanks,
Good
Rob.
night.
You're a sweetheart, Rob. Thank you, honey.
Yes, you do look awesome.
Thank you.
Restless leg Spidey's getting very excited being there. next to those two
I'm so
ladies.
happy you had him charged up so you had the window open in your office today. That's good.
Yeah.
He got some sun.
He got some sun. Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful here today. It was in the 70s,
it?
low 70s in Connecticut. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
Wicked.
It's nuts.
We had a
yeah.
snowstorm.
We had a snowstorm.
We
So
did.
It was like being in Florida. Well, not Florida. Being up for us, it'd be like being in a warm weather locale. So gorgeous day. Yep.
So what's happening on Sunday Night Geekery? What are you doing tomorrow?
I will probably talk. What was out? What did I watch? I did watch the Sherlock Holmes. What's her name? Sherlock Holmes' sister. I just watched that tonight.
Enola Holmes.
Enola Holmes. That part 2 was out, so just watched that with the wife, and we watched Confess Fletch last night,
Oh,
which was
what'd you think?
excellent.
Yeah,
I loved it. Yeah, that was really good. So yeah, maybe talk about that.
I want him to do more Fletch stuff. I mean,
Oh,
it's
that'd
not
be
the
great.
same as the Chevy Chase movies, which I do love, but he's
Yeah.
more like the one in the books, like I was telling you about. That was an adaptation of the second book.
So it's closer to the
It's
book.
very
you were
close
saying.
to the book, yeah.
Oh, it was really well done. Yeah, it's and I was usually I have trouble picking entertainment that we both
You
like.
could both enjoy. She liked it. Okay.
Yeah, she loved it. Yeah, so do we have to watch a science fiction movie tonight? So, but yeah, that's why I'd give those two. I give that a definite
Not a no.
thumbs up.
Ugh, you didn't watch
I
that
know.
crap.
Well, it was okay.
Sherlock Holmes
Certain
sister was
parts-
way better than him than the bestest Admiral.
Well, actually, in this one, he actually solved a lot of stuff. I haven't seen the first one, so there were some good parts about some parts that were.
Well, I can tell you the first one should be called Sherlock Holmes because she's way better than both. He and Mycroft are idiots, and she's the smart one that does everything.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
this one Sherlock does
She
a lot of
kicks
stuff.
ass all
so-
the time. It's like, guys, shut up with this stuff.
Oh, did you see this?
What?
Rod's probably gonna go to Sunday Night
Thank
Geekery.
you. Yeah.
Oh,
You
well,
should,
cool.
Rod.
Pop in.
It's a great time.
Yes, it's 10 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night for Sunday
Thank
Night
you.
Geekery. And of course, go to Mark's channel and subscribe. Everyone, he's got tons of short videos and such. So
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of toy videos and been doing the shorts. So like I had a Spider-Man toy that I did today. They got a lot of fun hits. So there's a Wood Warrior Spider-Man. So check it out. So I've got so much.
You're
I've got so
dope.
much quote unquote junk. So it's
You
fun
do
to-
not have
and-
junk. You
and
are.
that was
You have a
quotation.
museum. One day,
night.
I'm going to be the curator of your museum. I'm going to take people on
Right.
tours, and I won't let them touch anything. If they do, I'm going to smack their hands, and I'm going to have like a professional duster there for you. It's going to be grand.
Nog.
Good night, Picker. Have a good one.
Good night,
So-
Pleasant Valley.
Take
So-
care.
Yeah, that's it. Well, I'll just do a show note and we'll get us out of here. First part of the show notes. Any closing words? Number one.
Yes, I would love to thank everyone for the amazing conversation tonight. You guys are such adept conversationalists. You're so bright and insightful and engaging. We had such a great talk tonight. Clobby and I speaking with you, you guys are talking amongst yourselves in the chat. It's just this wonderful, wonderful cocktail. It's the best cocktail everywhere, ever. And I love it. Thank you so much for all of your comments. I appreciate you so much. And I want to thank our wrenches. I want to thank Anti-Derivative Jill. What a great job you did. Thank you so much tonight. I want to thank Chris Persia. I love you,
I'm
Chris.
gonna shout them all out for sure.
I want to thank Eric K. Eric, I love you. And D. Bud Martin, love you, honey. Thank you so much for all the hard work you do in keeping this ship and this crew safe. Just absolutely, I'm so grateful. And of course, I would be remiss if I didn't also say Lord Thoth, who is the chief of our security. So love you, LT. Please tell your wife that we said hello. I want to thank Mark D with a C for everything he does behind the scenes and for just being a great friend to one and all. Please make sure you sub his channel. He is so funny and great and has so many wonderful ideas and cool stuff that he talks about, cool stuff that he finds. Stop in, follow him, and go and look at his shorts. He's doing shorts and they're great fun.
But he's not wearing shorts, so you're okay.
Who
I'm wearing
wears
shorts tonight, too.
shorts? And last but certainly not least, I have to thank our captain, the grand poobah of all of geekdom, Clubby. I love you with all of my heart. You're one of my best friends in the whole wide world. Thank you for creating this space for us, for all of us to be able to come together like we're all meeting up before a con to talk about Star Trek. I just love you. I love, love, love you. It is a great honor to be here in this space that you made for us. Love you and appreciate you.
Love you back. Love you all. Thank you so much. Quick one final show note, everybody. Monday night, Mark C. Comics Talk. The great Stone Loki, my good buddy, will be joining me of Loki's Mornings and Mischief fame, of course. Please go to his channel. He'll be joining me for that. That will be another we try to do it as close to monthly as we can. A DC animation review team up, reviewing the DC animated feature film All Stars Superman. That is, of course, again on Clobby's Monday night Mark C. Comics Talk. All hail the great Mark C. So, let me just start our shout outs now and say our goodbyes. For those who are new to the show, we shout everybody out when at the beginning, and we do it at the end when we say our goodbyes, because we just love all of our friends here, and we're so glad to have you here with us tonight. So again, as always, just as Raquel mentioned, I want to thank our fantastic wrenches, of course. Whoops, so my thing jumped on me here. Sorry. Here we go. Of course, it goes without saying, but we'll say it anyway. The great Eric K., master of all that is of wrench, the bronze wrencher. Thank you, buddy, for being here.
Thanks,
Thank you
Eric.
so much.
Hope that splinter's out.
The great, yep, get that splinter out of there, buddy. The great Vindicator wrench of the North, Chris Persia. I believe Chris had to run, but we love everything he does, and we appreciate you so much, buddy. I know our buddy D-Bud popped in earlier, but even when he doesn't, he's going to get the shout out either way, but D-Bud Martin, the wrench of iron. Thank you, bro. Appreciate
No, still in his fingertip. Damn it.
Oh, yikes. Sorry, dude.
You got to get some really good German tweezers for that. Unfortunately, you're too far away. That get you some, but you need some really high precision tweezers.
Can I offer one suggestion? Although this is not medical advice, it's just a splinter, so hopefully we won't get sanctioned. But if you have a bottle of water, like bottled water in your house, either drink it or dump it out, then squeeze the water bottle so that, you take all of the air out of it, seal it over your skin where the splinter is, and let it go. As the air goes back into the water bottle, it will pull the splinter closer to the top of the skin so you can pull it out. Sorry, that's some mom advice.
Wow.
Can you tell I'm a mom?
She's not a
That
doctor.
sounds too complicated. My dad usually just took out the knife and just.
Oh no! Did your dad also tie your tooth to dental floss and slam the door? Just
Of course,
bang!
yeah. Come on, he was born in the 30s. What do you think?
All right.
He had to wake up and carry coal up to start his furnace.
Right?
When I complain about, not turning the heat on in the morning, when I was a kid, I used to go in the basement and get coal out of the basement and shovel it. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
So, what was the comeback for that one? I mean, none.
There is no comeback for that.
Well, everybody, thank you so much. Of course, shout out again. We're going to say our goodbyes now. The wonderful anti-derivative Jill, our chief of communications. Thank you so much, Jill, for being here tonight. And, of course, the great Lord Thoth, another member of the crew, chief of engineering. Security. Our chief of engineers right here. Thanks to him, but thank you, the chief engineer, for being here, by the way. Let's see here. Where are we at? J-Man, buddy. J-Man was here. I think he probably had to run, but whether you had to run or not, you get the shout out just the same. So the great J-Man. Oh, by the way, while I'm doing that, I'll put up the episodes for next week. I know I was forgetting something. Let's go slow. What is happening? There we go. There are the episodes for next week. All right, just making sure. All right, okay. Anyway, so, Shooter 8323. Thank you for being here, Shooter. Pleasant Valley Picker had to run. Thank you, Pleasant Valley. Fabio 100. Yay! Thank you so much for being here, Mr. Angel. Hey, Chef.
Yeah.
Our spirits go with you. Thoughts, prayers, and every other thing there can be, and
That's
vibes
right.
and all those things that people say. I
hope
hope you
you're doing well.
feel better, my friend. Get well, please. Classic Comics was here earlier. Thank you.
Good night.
Michael Carney, thank you so much
You
for
were
everything
fabulous
you did,
tonight.
all your participation and everything, and your donation. Really appreciate you so much. Thank you. Of course, as always, the wonderful Apollome's Minion stopped by, and we always want to shout out to her.
Yep.
And the wonderful Pepperoni. There you go.
Oh, I
We
think.
love Simmy. Yeah. So, Apologies. I hope you are doing well. Let's see here. Also with us tonight, who was here? Phantom Outsider, go bro, as always. Thanks for being here, buddy. The Felicianos, Sandra and Raymond were here.
King Dolphin TV.
In color. Enigmatic Drop Bear, buddy. Thank you for being here tonight. It's always fantastic to have you here, buddy.
You
Just
were
amazing.
terrific.
We really
Good night,
appreciate you.
Erudite Bear.
We appreciate you big time, buddy. JT Kirk was here.
JT Kirk!
Yes, indeed. Brian Hepburn.
Night, Brian.
I want to stop 1 second and say thank you all who lurked, by the way. You're just as important. We love having you here. We thank you so much for those who lurked. And thank you, everyone who is maybe watching this now, either on a download or a rewatch, whatever you call it. I've never really been sure what to call it. But if you're watching this on a rerun, whatever, or pre-recorded, thank you so much. John Rendell, thank you. And that's a big shout out. I know Wendology, I think, watched it, wrote me something nice last week after she watched this.
She's a sweetheart.
Big shout out to you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, my dear. Linrod. Thank you, Linrod. Our buddy Stephen M., the great Kal-El.
The real
Appreciate
soup.
you, man. Indeed. Michelle O'Work Johansson. Thank you for being here, my dear. I hope you're having a wonderful night. Go get some rest and have a fantastic rest of your weekend.
Good night.
Hungry for Win Adami to muzzle it. The great artist of Clobbering Times, Hungry Boy. Look who just popped in at the last minute there.
Hola.
Max Redstone.
Hey, Max.
Clobbertronomosers. Clobbertronomosers.
Who's that?
That's what Max called us. Hola. Hola, Clobbertronomosers.
Well, hey, good to see you, Max. I hope you're doing all right, buddy.
Maximum Redstone.
Maximum indeed. Matt G was here, of course.
Matt G.
Let's see. Excuse me, Michael Beacom, and shout out to Cassandra. I hope you're both doing well.
Good night, Beacons.
Thank you so much for all you do, Michael.
Be seeing you.
Indeedishness. Hang on 1 second. Let's see. I have to clear it. Did out an Axaman the Bear. Thank you. Captain Infinity and beyond.
Captain Faye.
The Master of Time. The Catman, a.k.a. Dee Myers.
Night,
I hope
Dee
you and your
say
wife
goodnight
are
to
doing
your
well.
wife. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Boosh McFadden. Boosh, thank you.
Boosh!
Boosh.
You were funny tonight.
Makani Draws popped in earlier. Always
Yeah,
a pleasure.
Makani
Please go
was
check
here.
out Makani's channel. Rob Altus, my friend. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Appreciate you, buddy.
Rob. Good night, Rob. Have
And
a great
call
week.
him Scuba Pete, buddy.
Scuba Pete
Please
and
go
Leslie.
to Chasing and Leslie, indeed. Please go to Chasing 80s Toys, folks. Channel. We had a description
Great
up there,
stuff there.
link up
Yep.
there earlier. There.
Very
Wolfie.
good videos. Yep.
Yeah. Wolfie, I believe, had to run, but always shout out to Wolfie. Crimson Ghost popped in earlier. Good to see you. Thank you, Crimson Ghost. Snail Messiah, my friend. Thank you for being here tonight.
Night, Snail.
Tyrell 72, my good friend. Thank you for being here. We hope you had a good time. Hope you're doing well at work, my friend.
And he sent his love to the panel and to the chat. Good night, Tyrell. It was great to spend time with
Absolutely.
you while you were at work. I hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll see you next week. Mwah. We love you too.
Indeed. Claude Saling.
Claude.
Thanks for being here so much. Good to see you. Mr. Grant Gregory, down under, buddy. I hope you're doing well. Great to see you. Hojo, a new person popped in. Hojo, thank you. I don't know if you're still here,
Awesome.
but great to see you.
Hail
Yeah.
Hojo.
Yes. Katie Dax. She had to run, but we love our wonderful friend Katie. Well, Katie Carr, but we call her Katie Dax for this during Deep Space Nine. That's what I've been calling her.
Cutie patootie.
Brandon, the anime guy, my friend. Thank you. Keely Chow. I'm sorry. I can't say I'm sorry you guys didn't roll tonight. Hey, at least you got to watch it, dude. I missed the whole second half.
Keely, plug your ears.
Yeah. I didn't
You
get
should
to see
not
my,
have to endure this abuse. I'm
No,
sorry,
not
Keely.
abusing him. Keely,
I know.
I don't think he's here.
Alabama should have gone for the extra point. I always hate that when they go
Alabama,
for
I
two.
didn't get to see it. You
No,
got
but
to
these
see it,
teams
damn it.
always go
No,
for
no,
two way too early. I argue with
They
everyone.
do.
and they would have won the game if
and they
they'd
lost
gone
in
for the one.
overtime
And they lost in overtime. Yeah.
at LSU.
Yeah.
And Alabama's going to drop the. I'm sorry, Keeling. I can't say I'm sorry.
My
You
brother-in-law's
gotta
in the
give her
morning
Max.
tonight.
Your brother-in-law's a fan. That's right.
Yeah. huge fan,
Max
yeah.
Redstone, thank you for the 99-cent super sticker. You were too kind, buddy. Oh yeah, I saw that Boosh. I saw the Astros one. Congrats to any of my Astros friends out there winning the World Series.
Oh, the World Series was today?
Yeah,
Yep.
they won it. They won it all.
Sportsing!
And I got a good buddy of mine who's a Phillies fan. Sorry, buddy, out there.
The World Series of the United States
Yeah,
and Canada.
Yes.
and Canada. Cardinal Sin, thank you so much, buddy.
Cardi!
Cardi, appreciate you, bro. Thank you. Tim's Talk on your left. Thank you, buddy.
Tim's Talk. Tim's
Midnight's-
Talk.
Midnight's Oblivion, thank you so much.
Happy
Appreciate you.
birthday to you.
My lemon pie. Thank you, lemon pie, for being here tonight. Oh, the wonderful, lovely stunt brat 777 Smith.
Mwah, mwah,
Be
mwah.
careful out there. Hope your power comes back on immediately.
Yep.
Minimus Primeness popped up in this.
Minimus.
Minimus. Rod Thunderheart, my good friend. Thank you for popping in. And again, the great late arrival of the Max Redstone, buddy. Thank you so much. That's everybody.
Oh,
well,
look
thank
at all
you,
these
Jill.
stickers
Jill,
coming in,
Jill.
boss. You've got a sticker.
Popcorn.
Yeah. You have a super
these.
sticker with a winking face, and you have a super sticker with popcorn.
Well, thank you so much, Jill. Is that a popcorn one? I can't see it.
Popcorn.
Is that a popcorn? one?
Popcorn. Yeah, it's popcorn.
All right,
yep.
just for you,
Shooter.
Jill. Just
Thank
for that,
you.
Jill, I'm going to eat some popcorn.
I
Thank
need to
you,
make some
Jill.
popcorn.
Thank you so much, Jill. I appreciate you. I just ate some popcorn just for you.
And I
You
love
rock.
how Shooter knows that we can't see, so he immediately puts them up for us. Thanks, Shooter. I
Thank you,
noticed
Shooter.
that. That was really sweet of you.
Really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Jill. Thank you, everyone, for being here with us tonight. And, well, join us hopefully at the Geekery at Mark's channel tomorrow night and
Yeah.
at Monday night Mark C Comics Talk.
Thank you.
And, of course, I'll be on Wednesday night and Thursday night for the club. Wednesday night for the wild card, Thursday night for the clubhouse, Friday night.
And my
Oh, no.
book comes out on November 15th.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah, that's next week. Right?
Mhm.
Oh,
Yep.
my
Right.
goodness.
And no Toxic Tuesday this week because of election night in the
Midterms.
U.S. So
You know,
midterms.
but
yep,
I'll
so-
be over there. Probably over there at Midnight's Edge with those guys for Tuesday
Okay.
night.
Tuesday night. Okay. Yep.
And of course, next week, everyone, for more Saturday night Star Trek. How about
Dun,
that?
dun, dun, dun.
Oops,
Yeah.
let me take that thing down there. All right, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend and enjoy these extraordinary final messages and credits. Thank you, everyone. Clobber on, clobberers.
It's clobbering time.
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Roger, ready to move out.
If you perceive Alamarine, you'll come with me.
I just love clobbering time.